Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. Stand in line for your fix. A triple shot of Marcus in the mix, serving you yet another round of fish and grits. October 10th, 2017. How's it going for you, fellas?
It's going all right. It's going all right. I'm just celebrating one of the many victories I had this week in fantasy.
How many did you end
Uh,
up getting? How many leads you in, man?
man, I won. I lost in one league and I lost to Shantae, so I guess I was okay with that one. That L, I took that L with pride. I said, okay, well, she whooped my ass. Honestly, she whooped me by like 70. I want to say.
Yeah, man. Man, I'm like I said, I'm about 17. I think this week I went about I want to say 11 and 6.
Damn,
11 and 6. But
you
I'm in
in 17? Jeez.
Yeah, I'm in 17. I'm doing a lot, man. That's why, man, my waiver wise, I'll be getting so lazy. Like I do a couple leagues, I'll be like, oh shit, I gotta go do
Oh,
these.
that's right, brother.
Man,
I'm in 14 myself.
yeah,
I went 12-2 this weekend.
nice, nice.
Oh yeah, say that with some
Hey,
pride on it.
and over the beautiful Shantae.
Yeah, you did, man. Rudolph went off.
And I pulled that one out at the wire. Yeah, Rudolph saved my life on Monday Night Football
He was
because
going
I was
hard.
losing until that game.
And you know what's funny? I was playing a guy who had Stephon. He had what's his name? Tyreek Hill. And Tyreek Hill led him up. He was like down. I was beating him by 3 points. All he needed was 3 points from Diggs. I was like, oh yeah, I lost this, man. I'm about to be 4-1. Man, Diggs did absolutely nothing. You talking about dancing in the house. Woo-wee.
But then it's a lot of injuries, man, this year. I think this is one of the most injury prone fantasy years we've had in a
I
long
agree.
time. I don't think through week 5 we lost this many big time names. But before we do get into the news and notes, this episode is brought to you guys by draftingsleepers.com. Once again, if you got any fantasy needs, any fantasy questions, go right on to the site. We're directly on there. We answer any and all questions that you have for us. Again, draftingsleepers.com. But man, let's start off with some of the most recent news. We did see our boy Sam Bradford couldn't even make it out the game. Like
God
that's
bless.
man,
Them knees is bad, man.
gave out, dude. They just pretty much giving out on him. And then who else got hurt? Stephon Diggs, but he ended up coming back. Then you
Matthew
had
Stafford.
Matthew Stafford. He was beat up the entire game. We lost Odell for the
Mm-hmm.
season. We lost JJ for the season. We lost Whitney for the season. Looked like Chris Conley tore his Achilles.
You
Travis
lost Brandon Marshall as
Brandon
well.
Marshall, yeah.
Brandon Marshall, yeah. Travis Kelsey had the concussion. We also had Marcus got Lane Johnson had the concussion. Man, he didn't make it for the
Mhm.
game. You think he gonna play Thursday? That's a
Man,
big loss. That's a
that's a
big
big
loss.
loss. That's gonna be a
Yeah,
huge loss, and that's gonna be good for
Yeah.
Carolina. And then with Kelsey, concussion too.
yeah. Kelsey had the concussion. Then Gronkowski missed the game. Nobody really talked about that.
Nobody's
Paul-
surprised by that though. That man can't
yeah,
play a whole season to save his life. So
yeah. So he may be questioned this week coming up. Our boy Charles Clay, he ended up getting hurt this
Boy, that
week.
was that was painful, man. When I got that alert that he went down, I said, man, he was on his way to greatness that game. Because not Sammy Watkins, T-Mobile was looking at him very
All
often.
day, all day.
I,
He was a clear like number one
They
receiver.
probably would have won that game if he didn't go down, in my opinion, because
yep.
they really played
Yeah,
Cincinnati. They played since that was my upset of the week, honestly, because I thought the Buffalo Bills was going to win that game.
yeah.
I did the Florida Evans damn when I got that alert on my phone when they said Charles Clay was down.
It was
I was
hurtful.
like, sweet
Carded
Jesus,
out.
no.
The worst thing you can hear.
When you hear the carded out, he was like, God
I
dang
was
it must
like,
be serious.
because you get them alerts and it's like, well, so and so is questionable to return, and then you get them other alerts. It's like so and so was carted off. It's like,
Oh,
damn it.
serious.
Yeah, the card off is real deal, man. What about your boy Kevin King? That little concussion deal he dealing with.
They'll put them through the protocol. It didn't look to be too bad. I think it's more precautionary than anything else. Just playing it to the letter of the law for the NFL now with the way that they do the concussion protocols and stuff like that. He didn't seem to be too dizzy, too unaware, or anything like that. He seemed to be pretty fluid. So we'll just kind of play it by ear. Hopefully he can get himself back together in time for a divisional match against Minnesota.
No doubt, no doubt. And I
And
just wanted
Nelson.
to.
And Nelson,
Oh
he,
yeah,
he
yeah,
tweaked that hammy.
yeah.
That's much ado about nothing. Trust me.
Oh,
That's
well,
Jordy
there you go.
Nelson.
Spoken
He
from the
got
Packers fan.
as Jordy Nelson. His knee would literally have to be gone. His hamstring would have to be torn for him not to play. They're playing the Vikings this week.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no way he's not going to play.
They coming for blood.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. He's not gonna miss this game, not the division game. I'm with Wilson on
Green
this one.
Bay is in a position now where not wanting to wish anything bad on anybody else, but the stars are lining up for them in their division quite well because everybody in their division is banged up, and they're not used to being banged up like we are. Everybody's quarterback is gone. Everybody's tailback damn near is gone in that division, and it's like lining up just in time for them to come and start playing their divisional games that you may not play against a Matthew Stafford. You probably won't play against a Sam Bradford. You won't play against a Dalvin Cook. It just sets up really well for them.
MVP run.
There it is, man.
No, sir. No, sir.
Man,
no, sir. Carson Wentz is the MVP. Carson Wentz is the MVP.
Oh yeah, I love that. I love that. Hey, you better speak that truth.
Don't you wish that juju on me? Don't you wish that juju on me? Let me explain something.
He don't want the MVP curse.
So you understand me clearly. Let me make you understand this clearly. There is no MVP that has won a Super Bowl this century. Last MVP to win a Super Bowl was Kurt Warner in '99. I do not want my quarterback to get that trophy at all. Don't want it nowhere near my team.
Let's go, Alex Smith.
Oh, yeah, he'll definitely take it.
Smith, give it to Hunt.
Yeah, they won.
I mean, give it to anybody except my guy. I do not need Aaron to have those problems. Thanks.
Well, there we go, man. Let's hop into the fishy and the gritty players this week. I'll kick it off with my gritty. I got my boy Dak Prescott. I really feel like he stepped up over this weekend, took control of the offense. I think going forward, he's going to be a fantasy player, week in, week out starter from here on out.
Man, 4 touchdowns. That was impressive.
Oh, yeah. He did his thing. He's the only reason they stayed in that game. Exactly. He played his behind.
That's that Dannon upgrade.
Okay.
He got that yoga power. Yeah, for my fishy
nutrients.
You said you did gritty, right?
That was my gritty, my man.
Yeah. Okay, well, for gritty this week is a man that I've been in the doghouse with. He jumped out the refrigerator and he said, "Excuse me, sir, I come to play." Mr. Cameron Newton. He balled on them boys this weekend, something that I did not see. He didn't want to be in there no more.
Oh, did you hear that? You hear Mike Jones?
Yeah, Cam Newton.
If I see it again this week, then I can take that label off of him. But it's as of right now, who?
I was impressed at what he did against Detroit because I had high hopes for Detroit this game. I thought Detroit was going to easily win this game.
Detroit is an above average secondary.
But that pass that Cam threw to the left corner, that was the best pass I've seen him make as an NFL pro.
I was about to say, I haven't seen a pass like that since Auburn. Yeah, you're right.
That was the best pass. That shows you that he has the talent. He's just lazy sometimes. That's what pissed me off.
Yeah, he has those James Harden moments.
Yeah, he does. Hey, that's the perfect comparison. You can say it no better. He's a little bit better leader, but yeah, same thing.
But after this game, I can't wait for this Thursday night game to see him lose to my Eagles. My Eagles. I'm guaranteeing that W.
I think it's gonna be a good game. You know I'm riding with the Eagles too on that one. I got you, bro.
Yes, sir. Fly.
Well, let me be the split decision vote then and give it to Cam. Oh, Cam.
Yeah,
I guess I'll put on some Carolina blue and black this weekend.
You dabbing too?
I might dab.
I might be dabbing up there a little. Who you got for gritty and Wilson?
We can't be unanimous on these things, but ironically enough, my gritty for this week is my man Griff's signal caller. That would be one Carson Wentz.
Yes, sir.
Supremely impressed by the effort that he put out there. That young man in Philly, and when they're hitting on all cylinders, when those guys are all in and they're going out there and doing their job, Carson Wentz is lighting it up. And he's making it look real easy because, again, Cardinals aren't the best team, but their secondary isn't any slouch. And he came out the gate firing them up early and often.
Yeah, and I think it's
Aguilar had the nastiest move of the weekend.
Oh, that juke was so serious. And he backpedaled on that man.
No. He fell in the zone.
No. Time out. This is why certain people in life are not professional athletes. Because if I am said corner, I just got kicked out of that game for fighting. That's a fight. I'm sorry. That's a fight.
That was Buddha Baker too. That kind of pissed me. I'm like, come on, Buddha. You got.
I say you got to go fight that man.
My wife is watching. My baby mama watching. I got 3 side pieces in the upper deck that just saw that shit on the HD screen. No, player, that's a fight.
Hey,
and I'm on Snapchat.
Hey, well, that's a mess up. That's a come on, man. for the year.
Man, that's beyond. Come on, man. That's let it go, man. That's have you considered other sports, man? Like you literally got put into the blender, you got put into the washing machine, the spin cycle, whatever you want to call it. You got the do-si-do, the square dance, whatever euphemism you want to use. He did it to him on that play.
Then
Sure
lay
did.
down. Then lay down.
And I think I'm impressed. I'm impressed with Wentz that he's just doing this without Alshon really shining. Because I don't think he's had over what 70 yards this season. So it's pretty impressive that he's doing it.
Without a true running back. If they give this man a running back,
LeGarrette Blunt looked good.
See, that's the funny thing about Blunt is actually really good.
Very good.
If they can get like a true 3-down backup in there, I get LeGarrette Blunt, but LeGarrette Blunt should be more of a roll back, not a feature back. If they get a true grinder up in there,
in today's NFL, you do what you can with what you got. It's no tomorrow promise. Folks is dropping like flies around here. I know they just happy to have a big back there to hand it off to.
Yeah, one's gonna stay healthy. Yeah, he don't get hurt.
Exactly.
And who's your gritty running back?
My goodie running back is Mr. Unknown, Mr. Superstar. Mr. I was inactive week 1, and I'm starting running back in week 5, and that would be one Aaron Jones. UTEP two-step for the Green Bay Packers showed up huge in that game against the Cowboys. Gave them their best sense of balance that I've seen in a long time for that offense. You really had to sit back and respect the run with the way that he was gashing the Cowboys for big play after big play. 19 carries, 125 yards, touchdown, and has the best burst through the hole that I've seen in a Packers uniform since Amon Green. Ty Montgomery might be James Starks now. And that's no joke. He might be the new James Starks because Aaron keep running hard like that. It's different when you have a guy that you know has talent, but you kind of dance too much. You kind of do what I call the Le'Veon Bell because he makes it really popular, but he's good at it with the being patient, set up your blocks, kind of tiptoe here and there before you hit your hole. But if you ain't got that kind of burst, you shouldn't do that. Aaron Jones said, look, I was inactive. Y'all gave me this starting tote. No offense, fellas, but y'all might not get this job back. He came hitting that hole hard.
Yeah, and what's impressive, wasn't he averaging like 10 yards a carry?
At one point in the game, yeah, he was literally gashing him, and it didn't matter if it was up the middle. It didn't matter if it was turning the corner. He was involved in the passing game as well. Had a Jared Cook-like sideline catch midway through that third quarter. I mean, he was involved at all phases of the game. He was actually pretty good on the blitz pickups as well, which I know is the one thing that'll keep you on the field with Mike McCarthy. If you can't pick up blitz packages and blitz protections as a running back, he will not put you on the field, and it does not matter how much talent you actually have running the ball. If you don't protect number 12, he's not going to leave you out there, and he actually did a good job with that. And again, Aaron Rodgers likes him, so that goes a long way.
That is true. The person I got for my gritty player of the week is my boy Leonard Fournette. He really impressed me this week against that Steelers defense because he really shredded and took all hope out of that stadium. Honestly, Big Ben wasn't having the greatest game, honestly, but man, Fournette really airs that whole team. I mean,
he embraced
that 90-yard touchdown was a classic nail.
If anybody's gonna run at me and tell me to come on, like, I ain't touching you, bro. What you doing? Get away from him.
Yeah, 181 and 2 touchdowns. That's impressive, and I trust him going forward because he is the focal point of that offense. Because they don't even ask Bortles to throw the ball no more. Honestly,
they don't want Bortles to throw the ball no more.
Nobody wants Bortles to throw the ball
at all. That's how they're gonna win.
Just think about
if they had any competent quarterback.
If they had a legit quarterback and had a healthy Allen Robinson, that team would be really dangerous.
Yeah, they just need a quarterback that can get like a what's the Roddy White? Yeah. How he was leading the Falcons.
Yeah, that was it.
They just need a combo like that.
That would be good. Yeah, but I like Fournette going forward, and I trust him going forward because he's getting the touches and he's getting it done in the passing game when all else fails when they go down big. So I like him going forward.
Yeah, and the guy I like going forward is going to be Marlon Mack. I feel like he got in that Pagano offense and actually made some good moves for a rookie. And I think when Andrew Luck does come back, he's going to have a nice weapon to tow it out of the field. I feel like he can be a all 3-down back. I love Frank Gore, Mr. Reliable, but you know what you're going to get out of him. You're not going to get nothing explosive. It's going to be very may get 50 yards. He may get a touchdown. But with a guy like this, I feel like Indy actually has a chance to get a 100-yard rusher, something that they've been lacking since the Edgerrin James days. And then for the receiver that I have is going to be Sterling Sharp. Sterling Shepard. I know he's kind of hurt right now, but going forward, he is going to be the number one receiver. Even if you don't trust Eli, if you need somebody who's going to put up receiver one numbers or even receiver two numbers, this is going to be the guy. We've seen him explode with Odell on the sidelines, and I feel like he can do the same thing with him gone for the rest of the year.
And if Ingram's on your waiver wire, you might want to take a pick at him because that dude's gonna get a lot of targets.
Definitely. But he shouldn't be on nobody waiver wire right now. But if he is, yeah, you got to snatch him.
My gritty player of the week, it's a guy that hasn't been getting a lot of love. I believe I mentioned his name, I want to say by preseason. I mentioned this guy's name to have a great season. And Greg Olsen went down, and it seemed like all of a sudden he started to take off. And that's my boy Devin Funches, man. He's really been impressing me on how Cam is going to him at the red zone. He's kind of treating him like a tight end, if you want to be honest. And he's going to him at checkdowns and at the red zone.
He has a big ass tight end, though.
Yeah, I mean, I believe he used to play tight end.
Yeah, Michigan, yeah.
So when you're looking at his stats, the guy had he's averaging 9 targets now. He had 7 receptions, 53 yards, and a touchdown. That's pretty impressive. That's very impressive, and I trust him going forward. I even trust him to have a big game against the Eagles because the Eagles are subjective to the tight end, and he's going to play a la the tight end.
Yeah, he's going to run the tight end routes. Yeah, I'm 100% with you.
Yeah, pretty much. My gritty wide receiver is from that same Cowboys-Packers game, guy that a lot of folks didn't think would actually even play, but showed up huge, and that would be Devontae Adams.
Yes, sir.
He came through and he played big, but we talked about it last week, and I made sure that I let everybody know, it's one thing about Devontae Adams that I know. Number one, he's in a contract year, so he's going to try everything that he can to get on the field. But two, his best games are always against the Cowboys. I don't know why, but they are. And he showed up huge against Dallas. 2 big touchdown catches. They got him involved early and often. I was really impressed at back that soon from a hit that looked that bad just a week ago to play that big on that stage. That to me was like literally the epitome of a gritty performance.
Man, I love Devontae Adams. This dude has a talent to be something incredible. He's the type of person that Dez should have been, in my opinion.
Say it
same
again.
size.
Say it again. Repeat that. Repeat that, please. Say it again.
He's exactly what Dez should have been. And if the Cowboys had that type of receiver, they would be really dangerous because that dude's route running is something impressive. And he's in sync with his quarterback, and you see it, and I love it. When Aaron Rodgers in the post-game interview was saying that he never really said nothing to me. He did it with his eyes, and he said, "Oh, just throw it over the top to me," Oh, man, that was beautiful, man. It was a beautiful catch.
Am I on tight ends now?
Oh, yeah. Go to the tight ends.
My tight end, I didn't even really put too much guesswork into it. I went with the most obvious splash. I can't believe it. How many yards did he have? How many catches? Who? And that would be one Ed Dixon.
Yeah, man, he was impressive.
Showed up and showed out with some Tecmo Bowl type numbers. Good Lord.
Yeah, he was man, he was just wide open. I was just like, what's going on here? Why is he so open when I was looking at the highlights of the game?
Killing it. It's like, yo, man, y'all do know that this dude is an eligible receiver down field, right? Like, he was super open. And I mean, he took full advantage, got some nice chunk plays in there, showed up, showed out. He did his thing.
Yeah, I was very impressed with him.
Yeah, definitely.
DeMarcus, you got for tight end?
If I got for tight end, I got David Njoku, man. I feel like he stepped up big time as a number one receiver. The receiver that I thought Higgins would be at this point. But David Njoku, he got in there. He controlled the middle. He made some tough catches. He made some NFL catches. And they starting to say he was one of the best tight end prospects coming out of Miami. I still feel like he got a lot of work to do and a long way to go. But he's definitely impressed me. He's actually growing as a player every year in the NFL this year.
Yeah, and
every day in the NFL.
And I know he had a pretty impressive catch, too.
Yeah, he's making some tough, like, receiver type catches. Like, he's not your everyday check down tight end.
I think Marcus was talking about him a few weeks ago. He was one of his
exactly. We talked about it. Yeah, we talked about it last week. He has that talent. He has that ability to be that go-to tight end. He has top 10 tight end ability.
Yeah.
It's just he doesn't have the opportunity because unfortunately he's in a kind of trial by fire offense, organization, front office, quarterback, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's new. Everything is, there's really no consistency team, so it makes it awkward for you to take advantage of young talent because you have to have that mix. You have to have some kind of veteran leadership there to kind of steer the course, kind of get guys in line and let them know, hey, this is how we're supposed to do it. This is the way that it's supposed to go. But when it's not, and it's literally, newbies everywhere, it's just about every position, and particularly at the quarterback position, you would think the logic would suggest that with most quarterbacks, especially young quarterbacks, that your safety blanket is the tight end. For some reason, with Deshaun Kaiser, it's cornerbacks and safeties. That's his safety blanket. He'll throw it to them whenever he needs to get a clutch catch. I don't understand it, but I mean, it's just the way it is. And I'm really high on Kaiser, but it's God's honest truth. I mean, check down and throw it to your tight end. You have a bona fide athlete. You got a thoroughbred at tight end, but you won't even do that. There's no reason why this dude shouldn't have like 9 catches a game. Yeah. You're a tight end on a terrible team. That's usually the way that it goes.
Yeah, and he should be putting up Charles Clay numbers.
And the way you're talking about that tight end is the reason why I have this tight end, and I'm going to wrap it up for the gritty players and Cameron Brate. And if you just watch that game from Thursday, you see Jameis Winston goes to him often as if I feel like that he goes to him more than Mike Evans this season. If you really watch that game, and he goes to him in the red zone, and he goes to him in the red zone, you see consistently he tried to go to Cameron Brate at big third down conversions. You see him in the red zone going to Cameron Brate. And another thing I love that he trusts him to keep going to him, even though he had those 2 drops that were very crucial, but he still had the confidence in Brate that knowing that he was going to get it right. And I like him going forward. He has a touchdown in every game besides the first game. So he has 3 touchdowns on the season. And the way Jameis Winston is looking and how he looks to him in the red zone, I can see Cameron Brate really getting a touchdown every game this season, honestly.
And on the side note, the last target of the game went to who? A tight end.
Yes, sir.
Hey, exactly. So if one tight end ain't gonna catch it, I'm just gonna pass it to the other tight end, Cameron Brate. So clutch moments, you're gonna be expecting more Cameron Brate touchdowns.
Well, I'm gonna kick off the fishy because as I talk about Cameron Brate, his quarterback, I watched that game and I really had time to process it, and Jameis Winston is making my fishy quarterback, and the reason why is because he has a pretty favorable schedule going forward, but I just don't trust his inconsistency and what he sees out there on the field, because he makes some really bad throws, some throws that he shouldn't be trying to force the ball to Mike Evans or Deshaun Jackson when he has like 3 people all over him. So I really don't trust him as he's looking kind of off right now, kind of in the Cam situation, but he can get it going. But right now, I'm not trusting what I see, and he's on the fishy side for me right now.
And they're going to turn to a running team pretty soon. So
Doug Martin looked damn good.
Yeah.
He could have made my gritty player running back, honestly.
Yeah, he almost did for me.
So who y'all got?
Being told. For me, I'll go ahead and go with my fishy quarterbacks right now would be every quarterback in the NFC North.
All of them?
All of them.
All of them. And I only say it because Exhibit A, Chicago, you just got your first taste of Trubisky. You saw the good, you saw the bad, you saw the ugly. Jury's still out on that. It was a decent effort. Detroit, if Stafford has these ankle and knee issues like they say he does,
and everything else,
his
ear wouldn't bleed.
That is going to sink their season, because you talk about, like, if we're using the honest, real form and definition of the term MVP, he is their MVP. They are absolutely zero without him behind center. Minnesota, same situation. Case Keenum might be good for a chunk game here and there, but without Bradford, especially since you don't have a Cook as well, Bradford's even more valuable to that offense, and him being out is no bueno for them.
It's Teddy
and then
time.
For Aaron, and then for Aaron, the only reason that he makes my list this week is because I follow the trends the same way he made my fishy list last week, and I try to tell people that to this day, because the streak continued, still hasn't had a 300-yard game against the Cowboys. Although I said they would win and that he would play well, he just can't seem to throw for 300 against them. Another interesting fact, he does not have a very good record against Mike Zimmer coach defenses, and they're playing against Minnesota this weekend. He struggles more often than not when playing against Minnesota since Mike Zimmer's been there. They throw him different looks. They read him better than most teams. They play to his tendencies more than most teams do. Don't know how he does it necessarily, but Mike Zimmer should bottle that shit up and sell it because he seems to be one of the few that can actually figure him out. But that's how that whole division makes my fishy list for quarterback.
I like how you broke that down.
Makes perfect sense.
You broke that down.
No doubt, man. Guy has gonna be Joe Flacco. I mean, what
need you not say more?
Just don't play him. Don't touch him. Stay away from him.
Take the layup. Yeah.
That entire offense is just trash, dude. Like they got nothing. They can't get nothing in the running game going. Their receivers are inconsistent. You're not going to expect that out of Mike Wallace every week. So, I'm staying the smooth away from Joe Flacco. Can
I be honest with you? Kaepernick in that offense would look mighty nice because they have the weapons. A lot
of offenses, my man. Like
with that team,
social activist for change. Now he doesn't play football, sir.
Man, I'm telling you, he would really flip that whole team around. I think that team would be very interesting, man. It would be that team and Miami because he's kind of tailor made for both offenses. If you want to be honest with you, you have your check down Jarvis Landry or Macklin. You have a decent tight end on both fronts, so you got a decent running game. I mean, hey, the defense is not that bad.
As we both know,
the offensive line broke down.
Worse than he's obviously worse than Cutler and Flacco, so there's no need to even bring up Colin Kaepernick at this point.
You're sure right.
Yeah,
my fishy. Oh well, I'll go ahead and just kick my fishy running back off. It's the one Todd Gurley. He's not fishy as in you should get rid of him or look to trade him. Todd Gurley easily could have had a decent game if that touchdown. He kind of was, that kind of was a, judge it how you want. But he could have easily had that fumble would have been taken away. He had a decent type of yards rushing. He was averaging like 4 yards a carry. But the only thing is they didn't really give him the ball for whatever reason. But once again, he's evolved in the passing game. He still gets at least 14, maybe to 20 touches a game. He's not going to go back down to 14 again this season. I can guarantee that. But I trust him going forward. I just think this performance is an outlier, and that's why it makes my fishing.
Yeah, it seemed like they wanted to get Jared Goff like full control of the offense this game.
They tried to.
Yeah, it seemed what happened. Yeah, it seemed a little bit off. Yeah, so.
Well, fumbling in the red zone don't help either.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't, man. And I looked at that play, and I that was his fault. That was his fault.
That was a real backbreaker for them.
Exactly,
especially in a game that.
Exactly. And when I saw that, I was like, that's just a mistake you got to learn from.
Yeah, going forward, he got to learn from that.
So who you got for running back, DeMarcus?
Gonna be CJ Lazy. What you got?
I said, who you got for running back?
Who you got for running back?
I got the Seattle RBs.
Did you say that?
All of them?
Yeah. Yeah, I got Seattle RBs. The only one I trust going forward is going to be CJ Prosise. But outside of that, Eddie Lacy, Rawls, not touching them, man. I think CJ Prosise is going to be leading this backfield going forward.
Do they have a timetable on him coming back yet?
Yeah, he's going to be coming back after this bye week. Yeah, he's coming back after the bye week.
Man, I don't know what to trust from that offense because no one's getting the consistent work that you need to be, fantasy relevant, honestly, because getting 9 touches a game. It's Adrian Peterson touches in New Orleans, and you saw what happened with him. So I agree.
I didn't sign up for no 9 touches a game. I didn't sign up for that.
And while you talking about, just the totality of the running backs, I'm gonna talk about the totality of the Arizona pass catchers for my issue because you never know.
Wait. Let me slide my running back in.
I'm sorry. Hey man, I skipped you so fast. I'm sorry, sir.
You're good. And it won't take long because it's no real explanation strongly needed other than it's just one of those things you didn't expect. My fishy running back for this week is going to be one Carlos Hyde, who seems to be getting outplayed and might be replaced by this Breida kid.
Carlos.
Yeah, Carlos isn't looking too good. I don't know if this is one of those things. let me just, downgrade myself to the point where these boys don't want me because I'm gonna be a free agent and I can go get somewhere else anyway, or I'm just not happy, whatever, what have you. But that man has too much talent to be putting that little production out there, even on a bad 49ers team. I mean, if your quarterback can throw for 1,000,000 yards, I would figure that you would be able to at least get some yards out of the deal in that game. You were nowhere to be found.
But you know what? I did hear that they might be downgrading and not telling people about his hip injury that probably flared up on him. So that's the only thing that I wanted to give him fishy, honestly. But when Shanahan came out and said something about his hip giving him problems, and that may have been the reason why he wasn't as productive. But Britta did look good. So if you do have Carlos Hyde, you might want to grab him as a good handcuff.
Get a handcuff in.
But back as what I was talking about with these shitty ass, I'm sorry, and I'm not gonna be rude like that. With these Arizona pass catchers, the problem with them is you never know who's gonna get it going which week. You have Fitzgerald one week, you have John Brown one week, you have JJ Nelson you have Jaron Brown one week, then you have Andre Ellington in the mix. That kind of just screws it all up for them. So honestly, I personally said there's no one that I personally can trust because I can't even trust the old dependable Larry Fitzgerald going forward. So if you had to roll a dice or put a gun in my head and say, hey, choose one, maybe John Brown, I'll go for it. But I'm not confident in any of them, honestly.
And I'm co-signing on John Brown. That's the one I don't trust because he's the one that's going to fail you the most. He's going to get hurt at some point. Like, that sickle cell ain't no joke.
It is not.
He's gonna go back down. So that's the one I don't trust to co-sign on it.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go. Don't get none of them then.
Don't touch none of them.
So who you got?
No, I got John Brown. Those guys I had selected.
Oh, that's who you end up having?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, man, it's amazing how they kind of correlated. I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
so who you got, Wilson?
I think that I will go with a little more high-profile disappointment this week, and I will go with a man that is mind-boggling to me for some reason this season. Regression, it's disappointing, but my fishy receiver pretty much for the entire season at this point, and that would be Amari Cooper for the Oakland Raiders.
Oh God, he's terrible.
Oh man, like to the point that unless you're in a deep keeper league, like I wouldn't. He's rapidly approaching droppable status.
That's sad.
He has been a train wreck. He's been a train wreck,
and he was drafted in the first round in some leagues. That's what's
in a lot of leagues. In a lot of leagues, people valued him in that first, second round category. Nah, I'm good. I didn't pick him. I'm in 14 fantasy football leagues, and I didn't try to pick him in a single one.
That's a smart man right there.
I got him in 4.
Who you got for tight end? Oh, you got him?
I got him in 4 leagues, dude.
Oh, damn. What's wrong
my God. I'm so sorry for your loss. My condolences.
I know.
Are those leagues all right? Are you doing all right? Or are the ones you suck in?
Those are the ones I'm doing terrible in. Every Amari league is like outside the one that Wilson got. That's the only one I got.
Bro, that's the only one. Man, you know what? Terrell Pryor was doing that to some of my leagues, and I flipped him so quick.
Oh, man, Terrell Pryor looked like Jerry Rice compared to Amari Cooper this season.
You right.
Man.
You right, man.
It's not even close.
I don't know what's wrong with his hands. Maybe he need to get some of that stickum on his gloves or something.
He needs something, bro.
He needs something.
It's not like you're being shut out of the offense. It's not like you're not one of the top 2 options in said offense, and you're still not producing. It's crazy to me, and I want to say he's still leading the NFL in drops, right?
Yeah, he is.
By a mile.
So who you got for tight end, Wilson?
My tight end. I know people are gonna complain and be like, this dude is a broken record, but I'm not backing off of it until somebody proves me different. Hunter Henry, come on down.
Oh, he's coming. You're on down. Right.
Man, if they had a Jekyll and Hyde award for NFL players this year, he would be like literally it's boom or bust from week to week.
It's like he turned face and heel every week. Like,
yeah. Like, I love y'all, man. I do this all for y'all. And then the next week, man, the hell with y'all, man. I'm trying to get paid.
I don't even like LA.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Look, give me a touchdown. Nah, I'm good this week.
I'm cool. He deflected. He started playing defense.
I love y'all. I tricked you.
But he has so much talent, and it's just amazing to see that, man. Just so much talent, just going and do nothing.
Anthony Lynn. I'm convinced it's Anthony. Anthony is not made for the job. He's not. I love him as an offense coordinator, running back coach, but he's not a head coach.
I agree. And the guy that I went with my fishy person is somebody that Marcus had for his gritty person. And the reason why he made my fishy is that Mr. Ed Dixon, the only reason why he's fishy is because I don't think you're going to see the production of 5 catches for 175 yards again. That's the only reason why. That's the only reason why. If you watch that game, he was open way more than he should be. Yeah, like me and Milson was saying before the TV show. Before the recording, we were saying how this guy they forgot he was even on the field. That's how open he was. So,
like, literally, they treated him like he wasn't even supposed to be an eligible receiver. He was
it was busted coverage. Yeah,
like,
they had their cornerback inside the box. I think. Yeah.
No shade to Mr. Dixon. I'm sure he'll have some productive games. I'm sure he'll do well potentially in this game coming up. But he ain't about to do 150, 175 yards good. Nah.
He can keep that at home.
Ain't happening. And the guy I got at Titans is gonna be Tyler Higbee because you just don't know who's gonna produce in that offense. It seems like exactly.
Higbee.
Exactly.
Higginbottom.
Let them in catches this week. Let them in receiving yards, but going forward, I don't think he's going to be the Titans going to be productive. He's super talented, but I don't think his time is now.
I love some of his catches because he really made some impressive catches.
He's super. I think in about 3 years, he's going to be definitely like a 40 catch, 50 catch tight end.
Hey, that's going to be nice.
Fellas? It's so funny, and now that we've gotten a quarter plus way through the season and stuff like that, our biggest problem that we had when we were discussing stuff in preseason was there was so many doggone tight ends that could potentially be good this year, and it's showing. And for us, it's frustrating because I know like half of the fishy people that we pick, we don't want to pick because it's like, yo, man, if y'all just did this, or this, this dude could be catching like 9 passes. And it's like so frustrating.
Letting us down, because
it's like
it's the quarterbacks letting us
tight ends
down.
I've seen in the NFL in a long time. Like as a whole, there is like literally no real team in the NFL that I can think of that doesn't have a talented tight end.
Exactly. Don't even think about them. Don't even use them.
Some got 2 or 3.
Some teams got a multitude.
And not even using them. I see you, Giants. I see you, Eli Manning.
Man,
they're about to use all of them now.
Yes, sir.
But that's been the fishy and gritty players for week 5 of the NFL season. Man, now we're going to jump into this week 6 preview. I know Griff is going to be super excited to kick this off with the Thursday night game.
To catch that L.
Woo! Who's getting L?
I don't know about that, man. I think these Eagles are going to take it on the road.
Cam said he has a special Thursday night press conference romper just for you guys.
He gonna get embarrassed like a clown on Thursday. He better get ready.
If Lane Johnson don't play, I think there's gonna be a little bit of trouble, especially if that Panthers front 7 is healthy. Because their front, I
think they can overcome that because of the mobility and the improvisational skills of Carson Wentz. I really don't think it's be like a backbreaker because Carson Wentz.
So are we starting both the quarterbacks this week?
Yes. I'll take the So I'll go ahead and get the Eagle side of the ball for. Honestly, start Carson Wentz showed you once again that he can do it and he can do it big in moments of pressure where people didn't expect him to have a good game. And he went up there and put up 4 touchdowns. So I'm starting him with confidence. If you want, personally, the Panthers have a great run defense. So I personally wouldn't play LeGarrette Blount. But if you need that option because of buys or whatnot, I throw him in the flex consideration. But from the wide receiver position, I don't trust anybody. I would take a flyer on Aguilar because once again, he is getting targeted on deep passes, and he showed me this week that he can be that boom or bust type of player, and he seems to boom more often than not. I think they're playing at home.
They're playing in Carolina.
Yeah, they're on the road this week.
Oh, well, never mind. I don't trust him this week. I would trust Alshon this week. I think Alshon is a good person to go for. I think Wentz is going to look his way. And then Ertz.
Mr. Automatic.
Mr. Automatic. I don't even have to discuss him.
No way you're not going to play Ertz.
I don't even have to discuss him. That's the man right there. Nice touchdown catch again.
Let's push the start right there. That's what I'm going to call him.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
So I got that side of it.
Ball, man. I'm starting to feel like him is healthier, so he's in a better rhythm. He's in a better place right now, and he can put up numbers against a still not quite 100% Philadelphia secondary.
Exactly.
I look for McCaffrey to have the all-purpose yards. So to me, he's a low risk RB3, RB2 category for me at this point. For some reason, I have a sneaking suspicion in my gut that it is Kelvin Benjamin's week to have a
Yes,
good
sir.
game.
I like how you talking.
So I'll throw him out there with the receiver that I have the most confidence in. I can put him on as a full-fledged wide receiver 2, maybe fringe wide receiver 1. Funches, if you need him because of bye week pressure, might be a good flex option. Other than that, I really don't trust anybody else on that offense.
I like the way he's talking.
Yeah, I'm with 100% on that. Do you play any other defenses, or you just sit them both?
To me, both of those defenses are a push right now because of the fact that they have explosive talent at the quarterback position. I don't see it being a low-scoring game. Quarterbacks to be heavily involved and to make significant plays for both their teams. That's the only reason why I shy away from both of them. I can see them in a 27-21 type game, a 28-24 type game.
I agree. I wouldn't play either defense.
Okay, there we go. Then moving on to the Sunday game, gonna have the Browns coming into H-Town. Man, how y'all feeling about this game? I'm gonna be at this game too. Hopefully, it ain't as sad as last week where I seen my boy JJ.
Were you at the game? Were you at the Sunday night game?
Yeah.
Then you should probably stay away from this one to avoid the jinx, sir.
Yeah. I'm not going. We're not even let him talk about this game. I want Marcus to take on the Texan side of the ball.
Me on Houston side of the ball. I'm trying to resist temptation, and I'm trying to show respect for professional football players because I almost hit that America's Got Talent gold button to just start everybody for Houston. But I'm not gonna go there entirely. I will say that Deshaun Watson is rock solid as a start. After this week, in most leagues, he'll probably be a pretty solid QB1 start. I still have him at high QB2. The running game to a certain extent, but I don't like either back enough to want to start one over the other. I think that both of them will eat a little bit, but nobody will really break the bank as far as putting up huge numbers. So to me, Foreman and Miller are both flex plays at this point. I like Hopkins and Fuller a lot in this game, to the tune of both of them catching at least one touchdown apiece. I also like their slot guy as a emergency flex pick and sleeper player. Ellington, I think, is going to come up big in this game. I think that he's going to score a touchdown as well in this game. Deshaun loves to spread the ball around. Another great we've discussed earlier about Jared Goff in this season as a young quarterback, when you see him distributing the ball around without getting that tunnel vision, and especially when you have a talent like DeAndre Hopkins on your team and you still find ways involved, huge character trait that you want in a young quarterback. I think that Deshaun is going to have a field day. It'll be interesting to see how the defense plays in that regard. I do not anticipate a shootout. I do not quite anticipate a Tennessee type score, though. I could easily say that on away about 41-21.
Me personally, on the Brown side of the ball, there's nobody I feel like starting with confidence. But if you are in a PPR, Duke Johnson over the last 3 weeks,
that's the man.
22 points, 21 points, and 21 points. I would start him up from confidence for the simple point is they're trying to get him the ball, and they will feed him the ball. And it also, you don't know anything from the quarterback position. I would monitor that this week and see if Hogan is going to start or if Kaiser is going to return, because Kaiser did get
that's all Hogan, bro.
Man, but I heard
it's gotta be Hogan. It's gonna be Hogan or it's gonna be Hugh Jackson's job.
Well, they said Hogan. Well, they said Hogan, but they wanted the Kaiser for the simple fact is they said that they were trying to motivate Kaiser. But like you said, Hugh Jackson is playing for his job because the Browns look horrible, and they look even worse on defense. Where I thought they were going to look a little bit better.
I thought would be the bright spot. Yeah, exactly. I thought that was going to be the bright spot of the team this season. They look worse on defense than they do on offense.
But I do like Njoku, like y'all were talking about earlier. I think that they probably will have those moments where you're going to have to check down.
Kelsey.
Okay. You see him, and if he didn't get a concussion, he would have got well over 100 yards.
200 yards. He couldn't stop.
300 yards. The shovel pass.
You think,
They-
Touchdown.
They ain't even run the shovel fast. They just couldn't stop.
Nah, they did a jet sweep on their
No.
behind, and they weren't even
Yeah.
ready for it.
Boy, Bernard
But
just
Njoku,
stuck.
I would. He's a great fill-in if you're on a bye week. If you have one of the people that's on bye, I would throw him out there with confidence, honestly, this week. So that's pretty much all I got from my end.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Yeah, then we got Miami traveling to hot Atlanta, taking on those Falcons, man. Y'all think it's gonna be a shootout. What y'all think? Well,
Hell no, I don't think it's no. Vic Beasley coming back.
Ooh, I
Beasley
see.
is coming
I
back.
see strip sack fumbles.
I see some. You better
You
start
gotta
that.
come back and be healthy first.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, they said that.
That's the other big thing about it. Now, it's one thing to have him cleared to practice and cleared to play, but the other part that defeats Atlanta about their master plan about being a fast indoor team on a track is that same track will give way to knee injuries and stuff like that. Real easy for folks to come back. It's harder to play on artificial surfaces when you got them kind of injuries than it is when you play on grass. So it's good to have him back and available, but it'll be interesting to see how quickly they work him back into like full-time number of snaps.
I personally, from Atlanta side of the ball, I'm starting Matt Ryan with confidence because I feel like this is the type of game that he needs, and the bye week is exactly what he needed to get his mind right because he's been fucking up out there. He need to get his mind right. He needs to start going. You're gonna see a huge game from Julio Jones. I would start him up with confidence.
Byron Maxwell is out this game, so
I would also start up Taylor Gabriel as a flex, if not wide receiver 2 this week, with Sanu not playing this week, because Jay Cutler is going to have to go. I feel like he can beat Miami deep, and Gabriel's deep, no homo. But then also I like to put out there that this is a good game for Freeman. This is a game where Freeman should get a lot of work, and he's coming with fresh legs. You already see how they go to him in the red zone, so I feel very confident with them. Also, the person that I like the most on this team this week is the defense, because Jay Cutler stinks. Jay Cutler is trash. Jay Cutler shows no emotion, and I feel like Atlanta is going to have their way with the Dolphins. So grab that defense out there if they're on the waivers.
For me, on the Dolphins side of the ball, I trust Jarvis Landry as a bye-week flex, and I trust Jay Ajayi, and that's about it. I will say, however, that I trust Jay Ajayi to the point where I don't think that it would be smart to play Atlanta's defense.
Oh, really?
I think that he's going to do well against Atlanta's front seven.
Man, and see, that's the thing
he's the kind of back that Atlanta does not like to play against.
See, and that's the thing that's been pissing me off about JJ, because watching him over the past few weeks, I've been saying that about him against some of the positive matches that he's had, but it's just like he's not doing anything. And I don't know if it's the offensive line for the Dolphins is breaking up.
The one thing that we know, though, the one thing that we know from this past season is the fact that he's a chunk guy. He's every so often he'll give you, so, and then all of a sudden it's a 200-yard game. It's a 170-yard game. He's one of those kind of guys. I just think that the ball bounces his way this go round. I think that Jay Cutler and them do just enough to keep that Atlanta defense honest, because truth be told, they're not good enough to just say, the hell with the pass, we're just going to concentrate on the run, because their secondary can easily get burned by anybody. And I just think that he's overdue to have one of those big kind of games.
Oh, okay. I trust Jay Ajayi if the game is close, but I see it on the standpoint of Atlanta getting cooking on them Dolphins. And when that happens, they're going to abandon the run.
Well, that's what us assuming that Matt Ryan is going to show up and play like Matt Ryan, because these last few games he hasn't. It'll be like you said. It'll be great to see if this bye week is just what the doctor ordered, because them last 2 games before the bye week, he sucked ass.
Oh, Matty Ice is coming out there, guns blazing.
I hope so, because I got that sorry bastard in 3 of my leagues.
Dang, he didn't call you a sorry bastard, Matt Ryan. You better get your shit together.
I did that, Boston College. What you gonna do? Hoe up or blow up? Barbecue and mildew. Let's get it.
Yeah,
man,
that was damn. That was good.
Really called him out for no reason.
He was ready for that one.
Got the Green Bay Packers traveling to Minnesota, taking on the Vikings. I know what Wilson gonna say about this game. So let's go ahead and just transfer to his side right now.
Let's go for it, Wilson.
All right, on the Vikings side, I think that. I can't have that kind of versatility. That's what it is. I just got
you can have it. You can have it.
Now, for me, with my beloved Packers, going into this game, it's one of those things that it's interesting because in a real life standpoint, it's blood in the water. It's let's take advantage now, get this key win on the road. We got Minnesota banged up at running back, they're banged up at quarterback, so let's go for broke. Let's make sure we do what we got to do. But the Vikings still have a defense. And they're one of the few defenses that I can actually say makes me nervous to see Aaron Rodgers play against. I look for Aaron to have another game similar to his last two games. He might not break 200 yards. He might have 3 TDs, but he might not break 200 yards passing. It'll be that kind of thing. And especially if they can continue to establish this running game with Aaron Jones, I don't think that he has to throw for 200 yards for them to get that win. They're going to want to win it. They're going to want to win it ugly.
Leading rusher Aaron Jones.
Easy. I trust productive from a touchdown standpoint because they're one of the most automatic offenses in football, fantasy football wise, when you have one wide receiver on the fringe that has 20 touchdowns in like 21 games and another wide receiver on the other side that has 16 touchdowns in 20 games. They're pretty much automatic in fantasy football. To hear those kinds of numbers from two receivers on the same team is pretty much absurd. Devontae Adams, Jordy Nelson, if they're wearing a uniform, start them because they're pretty much a lock to get you a touchdown just about every single week. That's crazy to me to even think about like that, but the numbers don't lie. I don't really trust any of the tight ends for Green Bay because of the simple fact that they mix them in situationally. So nobody is in there enough to get enough targets to get a rhythm or build up that many yards. That being said, if you need option, I like what Marty B's been doing. He'll get you a couple of chunk plays here and there. But with the way that the receivers are playing, and deservedly so, he's not really doing anything to make himself that much of a factor in the passing game. Nobody else that I could really throw in for flex formats or anything like that. I would give a peek to Randall Cobb. So, I mean, pretty much usual suspects for the Packers, but I do not have high expectations because scoring-wise, I think that Minnesota is going to show up. It's going to be a divisional game. They know they're going to be fighting for their divisional lives, so they're going to come out and they're going to give it everything that they have against the Packers. And they've actually played the Packers very well on defense over the years. So.
Well, on the Viking side of the ball, if they can keep it close, I see a good game from Case Keenum. I don't see 300 yards, Case Keenum, but I do see a good maybe 200 yards and maybe 2 touchdowns. I see a nice game from Jerry McKinnon, somebody that I was thoroughly impressed with on that Bears game, the way he was involved in the offense. They used Jared McKinnon in ways that I haven't seen them use Jared McKinnon. So I was very impressed with, how they utilized him. From the wide receiver position, Diggs, I don't know about that groin injury. I heard it may be more serious than they're letting on, but we'll have to see how that is going forward because Diggs doesn't normally disappear like he did on Monday night, even though I love that he disappeared. But personally, as a person who likes Diggs as a football player, we question his health, and I don't want this to be a setback for him. So in saying that, I trust Thielen as maybe a flex option in his bye week. I do trust him that Case Keenum does like looking his way, and he is involved way more in the route running in that offense. And then also I would take a flyer on Mr. Rudolph, who beat my lady this weekend because Mr. Wilson had him this weekend. So I'm trusting Mr.
Shouts out to
Rudolph.
Kyle.
Man, Kyle Rudolph was out of line, man. It just seemed like when Case Keenum came in, and that's the only person he was having love for was Jared McKinnon and Rudolph. And I was like, what's going on here?
Hey, that is no lie. That is no lie. As soon as he came in, if they'd had a camera on Kyle Rudolph, you probably saw his eyes light up and just a big smile and like, I'm about to eat
he's
now.
about to eat. And you saw all I did was I was sitting on the couch and I had a notification and said Rudolph touchdown. I said, baby, you lost. I just want to let you know you lost this game. So yeah, Rudolph, I do. Personal. Yeah, it's nothing personal. I trust him as I trust him as top 5 this week because Green Bay does fall subjective to the tight end. I'm not trying to knock them, but they do.
Oh, it's not a knock. It just goes up to the scheme that they play. They keep their linebackers so involved in the pass rush and playing the run that tight ends get open on them early and often. They usually zone a safety to the tight end, and when your safety is 12 yards back from the line of scrimmage, it's kind of hard for your tight end not to get involved and make plays. So that's no slight to them. That's just because of the fact that they play it so aggressive with their front seven that sometimes they don't even put linebackers on tight ends.
And I like what Wilson, Aaron Rodgers struggling against the Vikings defense. So I feel confident in playing the Vikings defense because they have played Aaron Rodgers fairly nicely on every time he came to their house. So I would start them with minimal confidence. They'll give you at least maybe 3-4 sacks, and maybe Aaron Rodgers happens to throw a pick, but you never know. Aaron Rodgers.
Damn well.
No, they snuck. They really
well, if it's anybody that forces him into turnovers, it's the Vikings. That's why I said I'm not very high on Rodgers for fantasy numbers only. I'm not high on Rodgers because historically, Mike Zimmer, which is another huge reason that people don't understand why Aaron Rodgers had never beaten Cincinnati before in his career. Because every time he lost to them before, Zimmer was the defensive coordinator. He knows how to play Aaron Rodgers really well.
I agree. So there we go.
Why'd you go out there and be so damn magical just one time for the win?
Just floating on there.
And if he does, I'm not gonna complain. This is one time that I hope that I'm wrong, sir. I hope that I'm completely wrong.
MVP
go throw for 6 touchdowns, Aaron. Go throw for 6 touchdowns because I hate the Vikings. I hate them pig-tailed suckers, horn blowing, that whack ass shit. I'm sorry.
Man, he clapped at two people. He clapped at He clapped at Ryan, and now he clapped at them. He on fire tonight.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're fired.
It's a divisional thing, and then the only team to beat us this season. So yeah, I'm a little salt. Might be a little Morton's involved. It might be. It might be
a little bit.
I understand.
Then you got the Lions traveling to the Saints, man. Y'all shoot out of what?
Shootout.
I don't see a shootout. I don't see a shootout. I like what Wilson was talking about with Matthew Stafford. I think he's hurt, and with him being hurt, I see this being a Abdullah game and probably a check down game to Golden Tate. But I really don't see Matthew Stafford having the productivity that I think that I would normally feel with him coming into this game. Now, Drew Brees, shit. Wilson can handle that side of the ball.
It's the Saints defense. It's the Saints defense.
I agree. But the way he was hobbling,
even a hurt Stafford can throw for 285 and 3 touches.
Man, he was hobbling out there again.
Yeah, he was.
The over-under for this game, Mark, is 50.
Ooh,
I'm over on that hole. Easy.
That could be, man.
Well, yeah,
I'm over on that hole from the simple fact that am I taking the Saints side or am I taking the Detroit
You're going to take the Saints side. You're going to take the Saints side.
On the Saints side, for me, I can see them putting up 38 on Detroit easily. So even if it's like a 38-14 game, a 38-17 game, I'm still taking the over on that 50. I completely trust Drew Brees, of course. I can trust Michael Thomas, of course. I am elevating one Alvin Kamara.
Raise him because what happened?
Opportunities to give up because AP got out of town.
Yes, sir. Get out of here.
Because Kamara got a whole package, so AP ain't standing.
But honestly, I also see a slight uptick for Mark Ingram.
Yes, sir.
As a result of that as well. I can trust him as a bye week flex. I can trust Ingram as a bye week flex. I am pretty much
I trust him as RB2.
I'm in the low RB2 category with Kamara as of right now. Rapidly moving up, however, depending on how these next few games go. But Thomas, I'm really high on. Breeze, I'm really high on. Snead, I'm looking at as a flex pick at this point. Still not real comfortable with where he's at. But that's pretty much it for me for the Saints. And unless you're in an IDP league, don't take anything concerning their defense.
Hey, another thing that I was thinking about is with Mark Ingram, I put both of them in RB2 range because they actually had and paid it in his system. He's had a productive, the pass catcher and the running back.
He does the thunder and lightning. He does the thunder and lightning real well. Yeah.
Ingram looked real nice. And also, there's a stat also with Drew Brees out of a bye. He averages 350 throwing yards and at least 4 touchdowns. So that's good news.
Yes, indeedy.
That's real good news. But from the Detroit side of the ball, once again, Matthew Stafford, if you have him, I'm playing him. But the thing is, I'm tempering my expectation for the simple fact is Matthew Stafford looked hurt. He looked hurt. I think it was a thigh and what was it? A thigh and an ankle. So I truly is going to temper. when I first see Matthew Stafford playing New Orleans, I say, okay, he's gonna cook him for maybe 250 and 4 touchdowns. But now I'm just like, he may cook him for 200 and maybe 2 or 3 touchdowns. So it's not a huge drop off, but it is a kind of a drop off. I trust Golden Tate. I also trust Marvin Jones in this game. I trust him as a flex option because once again, he's playing the Saints. And Galladay's out. Mm-hmm. So also,
Mike Jones.
Gallagher. That's
man did that disappearing out. He did that disappearing act like a champion.
Man, he was here. He was like the Magic Man. He was here, then he was gone.
Out of there.
And then
shake and bake.
He was out of here. And the dude that I also like is Abdullah. I trust him as an RB2 because once again he's going against New Orleans. And you also see that the Detroit are actually committed to running the ball and keeping one running back running the ball.
That's that Jim Bob Cooter.
So I like it. I like it going forward. Eric Ebron,
you know what? Klein is back for him at linebacker in New Orleans, though.
Hey, that's a bad man.
That's true, but
that's a nice run stop. Nice run stop option. I'm just saying.
I trust Stafford enough that he's hurt and that they're gonna rely on the run a little bit more. That's the only reason why I have him out there, and that is good. I didn't know that, so I'm glad you dropped that knowledge. But from the tight end position,
no, but I completely agree with you though. I still think that they'll get their run game going. It's just one of those things that you know that their run defense is gonna be a little bit different with Klein being in there.
Man, I like to say Ebron is droppable and fails. Maybe a person you want to take a look at. Fails.
Ooh, Mike Jones.
Mr. Fails. You might want to take a look at him. I would take a flyer on him. I would. He caught 2 touchdowns, and he's starting to get at least, I think he got like 2 targets, but
the Galladay effect.
Man, you already know how it goes.
Mm-hmm. The Galladay effect. Stay away from it. Don't get infected.
Let's keep on rolling.
But man, then you got the Patriots traveling to the Jets, the Meadowlands, in a battle for first fucking place.
Oh, the first place Jets are hosting
tied
the New England Patriots, sir. I'm sorry. The first place
New
York football Jets are hosting some team out of New England that's coming in to try to take their first place spot.
So we got the Brady McCown Bowl 1. Who is going to take this one? Brady is hurt.
The Jet side of the ball.
No, Griff. No, Griff.
You want the Jet side?
45. You take your boy TV 45. You keep that bandwagon rolling.
Well, I'm gonna let y'all know that Tom Brady called me on my cell phone. Tom Brady called me this weekend, and he was like, "Hey, Mr. Griffin, I heard that you've been really rooting for me, and I've been really shitting the bed of lately, and I have been throwing as many touchdowns if you predicted me to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw 6 against the Jets for you." Oh, I'm dropping knowledge out there. I see Chris Hogan getting 2. I see Amendola getting 1. I see Grunt coming back and getting 2, and I see James White getting 1. Light them all up. Start them all up. It's a fantasy bonanza going on over here.
Tom Brady out there like Oprah. Just everybody gets a touchdown.
You get a touchdown.
You get a touchdown.
But on a serious note, I would like to say that Chris Hogan, I'm really impressed with this guy. He has really impressed me.
Great value, Jordy.
I think he's
What do you think of Brandon Cook so far? How do you view him right now?
I view him exactly the same as I viewed him in New Orleans.
You're right. He's a boomer bust. He'll have those games where he'll give you the good 5 catches for 130 yards and a touchdown, and then he'll get the games where it's 2 catches for maybe 20, maybe 47 yards. You know how it goes with him. But this week, personally, I would start him because once again, the Jets, he should get a touchdown in his future.
So you think it's coming this week?
Also, no, I don't think one's coming this week, in my opinion.
Okay.
But everybody else getting one.
All right. Touchdowns for everybody. See, this is a bonanza.
Sir. Yes, sir. Who you got for the Jets?
Jet side, McCown, Austin Safarian Jenkins, Ryan. What's the Anderson guy? I almost said Ryan Anderson, but I was thinking about basketball. The Anderson kid. There you go, Robbie Anderson. And I ain't got to say no more.
Do you like Hurst? Do you like Hurst this week?
If anything, I would take him as a bye week flex, but he doesn't have that pop the top that you need against a team like New England. If you sit inside New England's zone, they can handle you all day. The teams that have given New England problems this season have been teams that have had wide receivers that have been able to pop the top and stretch that defense out. I think that when you can contain yourself within that 25, 30-yard bracket and be able to play strong zone defense, that plays to the Patriots' strength. Jermaine Curse is not the breakaway receiver. He's a great possession guy. He's a great move the chains guy. So in that regard, I think that he'll be somewhat productive, but I do not like his value over Robbie Anderson in this game.
If Bilal Powell's out, do you trust Elijah McGuire?
I do.
Notice that I named no running back for the New York Jets.
So
that was not by accident.
This is our candy bet. This is our candy bet for the week. So I think Elijah McGuire, if Powell does not play, is going to give you RB2 value this week.
Define RB2 value. You talking about 80 plus yards or what?
I think he give you 80 and a touch this week. And
What's your candy? What's your candy?
I like Starburst.
I like Milky Way, so it's a bet.
All right, it's
I'm
a
going
bet
with the under 80 if Powell doesn't play.
Okay, there we go.
With no touchdown, no touchdown.
No with touchdown. touchdown.
It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me whether it's a touchdown.
Okay, so 80 yards. 80 yards. Griff, I kind of like this.
80 and a touch.
Well, that Milky Way is going to be legit. And I'm not talking about the little small one. I'm talking about the family size.
He don't want the Halloween pass outs.
Yeah. No.
I was going to get you one of them little small mini.
It's October, but I don't do snack size anything. Sorry.
I personally like the sweet and sour. I like the sweet and sour Starburst.
I got you, player. I got you.
Right, there we go.
Call your shots.
And after I win this bet, I will not only eat that Milky Way from you, but I'm going to buy myself some Starbursts, and I'm going to eat them in front of you as well.
Hey,
just to let you know how delicious.
That's cold-blooded. And I'm gonna call up McGuire and I'm saying, hey, we're gonna fight. You owe me $1.
Hey,
you owe me $1.50.
You owe me $1.89 plus tax for this goddamn candy. I had to buy him the family size. This is bullshit. You couldn't get 80?
Really? 80 yards against the Patriots.
80 yards, come on, man.
Doug Martin on 14 kicks almost had
80. Turn in your uniform.
Right?
Turn in your uniform, Elijah. Right. Why are you even here?
Man, you got the 0-5 49ers taking on the Redskins. Impressive Redskins defense too. So man, I think this may be a little one-sided right here.
Who you want to? What side you want?
I'm gonna go ahead and take the Frisco side.
Okay, I like that. I'm gonna go ahead and y'all let you go ahead and start then.
I like Pierre Garçon. Go ahead, Griffin.
I'm with him, man. The Redskins defense ain't no good.
This is the funniest thing about this whole thing. There was so much hoopla in the offseason, and it's so ironic to a man. Everybody sat, and when we were talking about the upcoming season and stuff like that, everybody loved in the NFC East just talking about, oh, it's a two-team race. It's just Dallas and the Giants. It's just Dallas and the Giants. When in reality, as of right now, that division is flipped. And the two best teams in that division are the Eagles and followed closely by the Redskins. The Redskins defense to me is very underrated.
No joke. It's no joke.
Very underrated. Now it'll be interesting to see how well Josh Norman is right now. But their defense is no slouch. Their defense is no slouch. Their offense is respectable. They have talent that I don't think they've been using to their capabilities, but the talent is still there nonetheless. So, you know, Cousins can get off the schneid and pop out another 350, 360 game easy against San Francisco. Robert Kelly, I mean, well, your name here, you can put whatever label you want for Washington running back, but they have a chance to get off against San Francisco. San Francisco is one of those teams to me that their defense in 2 years is going to be a top 10 defense, but right now they suffer from lack of offense to the point that they fall back on that old football adage of the 49ers have a decent defense, but nobody has a decent defense if you're standing on the field for 37 minutes a game. That's pretty much been their problem all season.
They can only show flashes because they get tired.
Exactly. Yep. I mean, they're going to be gassed by halfway through the third quarter because they've been on the field literally the entire game.
Yep.
And then from the Redskins side of the ball, he's kind of covered it. Start Cousins, start Rob Kelly. Honestly, if you're going to start any week, you're going to start this dude, it's going to be this week. And that's Mr. Terrell Pryor.
Yeah,
I think a bye week kind of helped them build their relationship, their rapport between him and Cousins. I hope so. The Kansas City fans call that man an N-word. I think he's ready to come and show the world that, you know, he didn't come to the Redskins just to be a spot on the field, but to really come out and show out. So I expect him to have a great game, and then you trade him. There you go.
Especially
what about your boy, Griff?
I don't know what's going on with. I don't know what tight end to really pick, honestly, out the two. Because
is it the ageless wonder? Is it Vernon's time to shine? This is his former squad.
If Reed plays, you got to start Jordan Reed. But if he doesn't play, then you got to start. You got to start your boy Vernon Davis.
Tight end one, Vernon Davis.
I'm sticking with the hot hand. If it's me, I'm sorry, Jordan. You can
Yeah.
Put some more Band-Aids on it and rest another week.
I personally also would take a look at Josh Doxson as a sleeper pick.
He may be hurt. He was still on the injury report, so we just
Oh,
got.
he's still in injury report?
Yeah.
Oh, well, if he doesn't play, then you can start Crowder with a flex. I think this is a game where Crowder gets to go on again because last season wasn't a flash in the pan. This dude was really talented last year. And I truly think that he has the type of talent that offense go to another level if they get him going. So I think this is the week that Cousins is going to try to get him going. If he can get it going, I think this offense is really on the takeoff. And then I probably want to start Terrell Pryor because honestly, Crowder is the reason why Terrell Pryor is not doing good because when Crowder's playing good, he gets more coverage and that opens up the top of the Terrell to go top and for him to, do what he does. But, with Crowder not doing that, hey, you see what happens.
Hey, Griff.
Yes, sir.
In ideal conditions for Washington, everything's rolling. Cousins is playing good. Offense is healthy and stuff like that. No, Jamison Crowder is great value. Devontae.
Yeah. You can say that, or he's a great value.
He flashes that kind of skill in their offense to me. To me, that's kind of the role that he plays in their offense when everything is clicking right. Is he's kind of like their Devontae Adams in that offense.
He is, and he has that type of talent. He's not as big as Devontae Adams. Is the only,
but he has that skill set.
Yeah,
he's physical. He's not big, but he's physical.
If you want to be honest, they're kind of structured like Green Bay Packers in a sort type of way. If they can actually get that offense really going, they can move like Green Bay because Cousin wants to throw the ball like Rodgers does. And then once you add a good running game, hey, everything gets moving. So, hey, you got a point there.
If they would just use Terrell Pryor, geez, I mean, that's your big guy like Jordy. You got Crowder on the other side like your Devontae. You got Doxson there to be your Randall Cobb. I mean, it kind of fits.
And you know what? It's amazing you said it because I was sitting over here thinking that too.
Yeah, Terrell just got to make some of those tough inside catches. I mean, every time he go on the crossing route, he just started.
Yeah, it can't always be fly patterns and play action. You gotta do some dirty work.
Yeah, you got to make some grown man catches if they want to get to that type of offense. But they definitely got the talent. I mean, Kirk Cousins can throw the deep ball. He throws it better than almost any quarterback.
Yeah,
so, just got to let him do his work. He got the Chicago Bears traveling to the Baltimore Ravens, the battle of the shit bowl, if you're going to ask me.
Sweet mother of God. This might be the most boring game of the entire weekend. Literally, this might be
Monday night. Monday night, it's the Colts and the Titans.
I bet you there'll be more plays in that game.
Yeah, Jacoby Brissett going to put on the show. He going to he going to scramble a little bit. Put on
you might be right. You got dynamic offensive players on that team. Yeah, you got
about to put us to sleep.
Exactly. I mean, with Indianapolis and Tennessee, you got a T.Y. Hilton on one side. You got a Marlon Mack that could be rising up. You got the duo in the backfield for Tennessee. You got playmakers there. In Baltimore and Chicago, oh, my God, this is the Lunch Pail Bowl. This is the battle of teams that are still playing football like they're in the 80s.
Yeah,
this might be a 7-3 game. This might be a 7-3, 9-7 game.
Tight end not going to die. Exactly.
Okay, so the person, this is who you can trust on the Baltimore side. You can trust Javoris Allen as a RB2 or flex. You could trust their defense, and you could trust no one else. Maybe a flex on Wallace, and that's it.
I trust the Ravens defense. That's about it. I think that's the only thing.
The only reason why I like Javoris Allen is because he gets involved in the short passes, and that's all that Flacco does is throw short passes.
Trubisky best player is a 2-point conversion. Other than that, he did not look spectacular at all.
I trust Jordan Howard, and I trust Chicago's defense.
Well, there you go. We're on to the next game.
Yeah, on to the next game.
And before we move on, let me throw a little caution and warning to those folks like myself that were under the assumption that Glennon would still be there, so Tariq Cohen would be a factor. DeMarcus's boy. That dude is going to get ignored like a big
Exactly, and we called that too.
He's going to get ignored. Yeah, he's going to get ignored.
Hello, Zach
Darren
Miller.
2.0 has just left the building.
Dropville.
That was quick. And then you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling to Arizona. That's gonna be a tough little trip for them.
Little AP in their life.
They ain't doing nothing still.
Man, he gonna get his carries. I mean, they ain't got no choice.
Shit.
You just got
AP got so much pent up energy right now. He might drop $130 on Tampa just off GP.
See, okay, and there we go. We got another candy bar bet. You ready?
What
What's
we
the
what we
yard?
betting the candy
What's
bar
the
on this
yard?
game for? I hate
What's
this
the yard?
game.
The yards, I got him going for only about 80 and below.
Oh, trust and believe. I'm being facetious. I don't trust Adrian Peterson for anything. He's a Viking. I don't trust him for anything.
Oh,
No, 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 no.
so no
No,
bet?
no, no, no,
Anybody?
no.
Nobody? Okay.
No, 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 no,
80.
no.
Give me 100. Give me 100. I'll give you a little wiggle room. I'll take
I
100.
don't think he gonna go, I don't think he gonna go even touch 100.
Yeah, that's why I'm giving you a little wiggle room. I'll get 100.
Okay, let's go for it.
Yeah, you already got one 80-yard bet, so I'll bite the bullet on this one.
All right, well, let's.
He got an 80-yard loss.
Oh, hey, man.
See, I'm trying to help you
Now
out,
we
Chris.
say that and we talking all this noise, and Bilal Powell gonna come out and play and get 115 yards, and they're gonna be off. I'm gonna be mad as hell because I'm gonna be thinking about that Milky Way. I might post that picture up on. I might post that picture up on the page and be like, man, could have had this Milky Way. Thanks, Bilal.
This could have been.
Me.
But
This
on
could have
the,
been me, but Bilal Powell showed his ass this weekend. Thanks,
hey, Bilal Powell's that dude, man.
man. Love him.
What side of the ball y'all taking today?
I'll go ahead and take the. I forgot what game we were discussing. That's how bad it was.
Take the
Bucks and
Buccaneers side. Take the Buccaneers side.
Buccaneer side.
Bucks on the road.
I do not trust Jameis Winston at all. If anybody, I see him throwing at least 2 picks because Peterson is still there, and he's
Yes, sir.
still a shutdown quarterback. Last time I checked, and one Winston loves to throw to one Mike Evans, and I believe that's gonna be problems. And I think Doug Martin is gonna have a decent game. I have him getting a touchdown and maybe 50, maybe 60 yards, but nothing too flashy. Because I think they're going to get down. I think this is a game that the Cardinals actually play up. I think once again, I think everybody's forgetting that Tampa Bay's defense is pretty terrible still, and their corners are still young and they can get done up. And I know I said that the wide receivers are fishy for the 49ers, but I go ahead and I think all of them are flex worthy if you needed a running back to plug in, because I see Carson Palmer actually having a good game and Adrian Peterson actually taking some pressure off of him, and I think that's going to add to him having a good game.
Yeah, I can see that, man. That's why I think they just want to run the ball a little bit more. That's why I'm just kind of.
See, I don't mind them running the ball. See, I think they'll run the ball, but he won't have the productivity. But in him running the ball, it'll free and open things up for Carson Palmer for him to work a little bit better because he's been quicker with the football, but he just needs a
The
little
thing
bit
about
more
this game is going to come down to which quarterback has to make the least amount of plays, because
And
both
who-
of these teams want to run the ball. You know, so-
and who doesn't make the most mistakes, who makes
Exactly.
the less mistakes, because both of them are prone to make a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
mistakes.
oh yeah, we can see a 3 interception game from both of them on on a bad day.
Exactly. Oh, I covered Wilson's team on the cool. My fault.
You're good, brother. On the Arizona side, the only person that I trust is Ellington in the passing game out of the backfield, and Larry Fitzgerald because he's an old crafty veteran that's going to work on those young DBs. Other than that, everybody else is maybe a flex at best.
You don't trust? Do you trust Carson Palmer in a pinch this week? If
I
you need a
trust him as a
quarterback?
bye week flex.
There you go. I like that.
I trust him as a bye week flex. Anybody else on that team not named Ellington or Fitzgerald, I don't really trust as anything more than an emergency flex.
Oh, and start Cameron Brate. I forgot about Cameron Brate. I do see Cameron Brate having a decent game. He'll give you a touchdown and maybe 60, 70 yards.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, I'm with you on the Brady. I think Brady's going to score this week too. Then you got the Rams traveling to Jacksonville with that vaunted defense. I feel like Jared Goff on bye week this week, if you ask me. I'm not
You right.
touching them, bro. I'm not touching them. Them boys are something serious.
You right. I don't know
What side you want, Grill?
Whatever side you want. I want you to pick this side this time.
I'm gonna go with the Rams. On this one, just like they followed up one test with another, coming out of that tough statement weekend against Seattle, going into another high pressure game that a lot of people didn't really anticipate, with another really strong defense, another test for Jared Goff and company. Goff is still flex worthy for me because of the fact that I think that he spreads the ball around enough to kind of keep Jacksonville on their toes a little bit. I'm still going to invest in Todd Gurley. I think he's not going to have a superstar game, but I do think that he's going to be able to get his against Jacksonville. Jacksonville is a strong defense overall. I'm not too sold on
The run game,
their run stopping.
Mhm.
They're good at pass rushing. They're good at pass defending. They're not elite when it comes to run stopping. That's if there's any hole that they have as a defense, that would be it in my opinion. Now they're sound tacklers. They're very active in the run game, but they're not stonewall. You're not going to get any yards against us type defense.
I think this is gonna be a Gurley versus Fournette game.
Oh, I was just
wait. But before we get to that part, I do trust Cooper Kupp in this game because in the midst of that ass whooping that Pittsburgh got, Antonio Brown was still there.
Yes, sir.
If I'm not mistaken, over 100 yards. So spread the ball around enough, you get folks involved and stuff like that. But I would trust Cooper Kupp out of any of the receivers to actually be able to make a dent in that offense. I like his size and I like him playing in the slot against the Jaguars because I don't think that they're going to pull Ramsey or Boye off of the perimeter guys to come and guard him in the slot. So I think he's going to benefit from the matchup problem.
And then another thing I want to say on your side of the ball before I say anything about the Jags is McVay came out and said that they want to start getting Watkins the ball and more involved in the offense. So I want to take a look at this game and see how try to get him involved. Even though he does have a tough matchup, I still want to see if they try to get him involved in this game. But on the Jag side of the ball, personally, I do not want to start anybody except Leonard Fournette, and I want to sit down. This is the type of game that people need to see and really see how great two great running backs go to work, because I truly feel like Leonard Fournette is and will be a great running back, just the way his size, the way he brings on contact. He may get injured through his career, but the talent is there. And you see the guy, he does get involved in the pass game, and that's only going to develop as, you know, his years to come. And I truly think that he is going to have a great game. And I think, man, shoot, I see both
he's
of them.
going up against a legit he's going up against a legit front seven as far as the run goes. This is going to be a big test for him.
Who y'all got on rushing yards? What side?
I got Gurley. I got Gurley.
I got Gurley as well.
Gurley?
I see Gurley getting 1/3, like all 1/3, like let me see, 130 all-purpose yards and a touchdown, and maybe like 5 catches.
Okay. Yeah, I think Gurley's gonna have a better fantasy.
I see similar numbers. I think that it's going to be around 130 or 140 because I want to say that I look for Gurley to get maybe 80 to 85 yards on the ground, but I look for him to get another 55 to 65 receiving coming out of the backfield.
Squeaky wheel. He was complaining.
Uh-oh.
You know how that goes.
Yeah, they always gonna get fed every week.
I think the Gurley is going to be a great safety valve for Goff in this particular game because of the simple fact that his deep threats and his perimeter threats won't be as open as he's used to them being.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with you. Then we got the Super Bowl.
Oh, no, we don't.
Oh my God.
Okay, I want to take the Steelers.
Yellow.
I'm starting with the Steelers side of the ball, and I'm starting with the Steelers side of the ball.
Hey, don't you Mike Jones these Steelers.
I'm gonna let you know, Big Ben is terrible on the road. And who is he playing? And where is he going? I see a horrible debacle game for Big Ben.
Is terrible on earth.
I think this is going to be a collapsing game for Big Ben. I think this is really going to take the energy out the whole entire offense, honestly. He may get benched this game. That's how bad I think he's going to be. That's how bad I think he's going to play, Marcus. You think I'm joking, man. I think this dude is going to really play bad because the Chiefs are rolling right now. They're going to Arrowhead. You know how that crowd gets rocking, and don't let Alex Smith and Tyreek Hill and Hunt get it going, and Kelsey coming out there from concussion. And man, if they start rocking, I fear for the Steelers side of the ball. The only person I start with confidence is Le'Veon Bell, and I trust. Okay, this is going to be a stretch. I like Antonio Brown, but I don't even trust. I have Antonio Brown in 3 leagues, and I'm nervous to play him this week. That's how nervous I am about Big Ben this week because he looks terrible. When your quarterback comes out in an interview and acts like he doesn't want to play or like he doesn't have the necessary skills, he wasn't bullshitting out there. This is the same dude who was contemplating retirement. So, hey, man, it's knocking on the door.
Yeah, he gonna wait till after January though. He all right.
Nah, Landry gonna come out there and lead y'all to a Super Bowl. There you go.
Okay.
Lies.
Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Super Bowl, baby.
All right, fellas. Before I start this sparkling analysis of the Chiefs, let me
The
preface it.
undefeated.
Let me preface it by saying this. Uh, and Demarcus, if you tell anybody that I said this, I will deny it.
It's on the podcast.
But it's just us right now. It's just us right now. This game right here, and I'm just telling you guys, it's just everything that's in me for some reason. This is a certified trap game. I think that Pittsburgh is going to beat Kansas City this weekend. I think that Ben Roethlisberger is going to have a bounce back game. I think that Antonio Brown is going to be huge in this game. If it's one thing that Kansas City can't do with Eric Berry being there, they can't defend deep passes for shit. I think that Antonio Brown is going to have a fucking field day against Kansas City. In the midst of all this undefeated and big play offense and stuff like that, they give up almost as many big plays on defense passing as they score on offense passing. And everybody's overlooking that because they're undefeated and they're so exciting right now. I just have that feeling. Pittsburgh is that perfect combination of a team that's pissed off, feeling bad, looking horrible, coming off against a team that they weren't supposed to lose to, coming into this raucous stadium against this team that's really rolling right now, super high, super confident. It's a classic trap game. A classic trap game.
You watch your mouth, Mr. Alex Smith. Yeah, you better watch it. The shovel pass is coming.
For Kansas City. For Kansas City, literally, it's the usual suspects: Hunt, Smith, Kelsey, Hill. That's it.
No Kelsey?
Hunt, Smith.
Oh, okay. I didn't
Hill.
hear you. My fault.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it. I would not play their defense at all. I could be the craziest guy in the world. It's fine. Or I could be crazy like a fox. But to me, this game smells like a trap game. It just smells like a trap game.
Okay, I also like Reese's Pieces. Do I spell another bet?
What are we betting
on the defenses? I think their defense is going to score more than 10 points this week.
Who, KC's?
Uh-huh.
In a standard league, that ain't hard to do.
I mean, well, if you think Antonio Brown's a big game.
They can get that almost off return yardage. I didn't say that it was going to be a blowout game. I didn't say that the Chiefs wouldn't put up points. I just said that they would lose.
Okay, let's do 12.
How about
you'd have to give me 14.
Okay, 14. I'll take it.
The over under is 46. How about we do 23 points total?
Okay.
There'll be more than 23 points scored.
You think so? Okay. I got it under 23.
23 for the Chiefs.
You're saying that 23, they won't give up 23 points?
Yeah.
No, I don't think the Pittsburgh's going to score 23 points.
Pittsburgh's going to score 4 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. There goes the right there.
Oh, yeah.
23 points. Okay.
No,
Pittsburgh's going to score 28.
Let's make it 24. Okay. Under 20.
24?
Yeah,
24?
24.
Okay, 24.
Yeah, I'll take the over on that gladly. That's fine.
Go. It's a bet.
There we go.
I apologize in advance. I'm sorry.
No apologies over here.
I forgot I bet that quick.
Then
we recorded them. It's cool.
Yeah, I got them. Then we got the LA Chargers who finally pulled off a dub, taking on the Oakland Raiders. Oh my goodness, it's EJ Manuel.
This might be the second worst game behind Chicago and Baltimore.
Oh, you watch your.
I think I'm with you. This game is gonna be terrible,
bro. What's Amari Cooper gonna do in this game?
Oh, nothing. He's gonna be garbage.
Crabtree is all about Crabtree. That's it.
And Crabtree don't got that great of chemistry with EJ Manuel at this point. They're still a work in progress. They still aren't committed to the running game, so you don't get to see as much beast mode as you would like to see for them to have a chance to win. And then the Chargers are just as ass backwards with the way that their offensive philosophy is. This game has all the makings to be super duper terrible, super duper waste of talent on both sides.
Okay. Well, for the offensive stand in the pen, I'll go ahead and cover my Chargers. I have Phillip Rivers. He's the person that I want to talk about for a quick second. I have him. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this nugget. I have him as my oven player because the simple fact is, last week he put up 258 yards and 3 touchdowns. And the week before that, he put up 347 and 2 touchdowns. This guy is still competing for his team, even though they're really fighting for nothing. And I truly believe the Oakland defense will get scored on. And I feel like Phillip Rivers is going to show out, and he's going to at least get 3 to 4 touchdowns. I also have.
How many points did Baltimore put up on Oakland's defense?
Oh, man.
They put up 30, I believe.
Man, exactly. 30. Shit, the Chargers could score 60 on them.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, from a fantasy standpoint, I'm high on all the Chargers this week. I'm even high on Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry, even though that I really don't love him like that.
Didn't he score this weekend? Didn't he score this weekend?
Yeah, he scored this weekend.
He scored this weekend. You better cross his ass off. He might not get no targets this weekend.
Oh, he does do that flip flop, but I think I'm.
He's on.
It's Hill week.
Yeah. It might be a Melvin Gordon type of game. It's going to be also a Keenan Allen type of game. I also see a good game from Travis Benjamin. I think it's this week for him to go off. It seems they kind of been cycling the number 2. You don't know who's the number 2, honestly, on a consistent basis.
I think Mike Williams coming back.
He's coming back, but they probably
is he back this week?
Not this week, but he'll be back.
He's coming back next week. I want to say.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Benjamin may be the last time you see Benjamin or
the last sight.
The last sight. Keenan Allen. This is going to be the greatest thing for Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen may finish with at least 140 catches, 1,000, maybe 1,500 yards, and then probably I give him maybe 6 or 7 touchdowns, just because Mike Williams is going to open up that offense and really going to get things going for Keenan Allen. But start your Chargers, and I'm also starting.
Anthony Lynn used them correctly.
That is true. That's true. I also am taking a flyer on the Chargers defense because EJ Manuel is still EJ Manuel. Always remember that.
Sir, don't you ever talk disrespectful about that?
Man, nobody want to.
Nobody wants to talk about that, man.
That's one of the worst Seminoles.
Y'all shouldn't even own up to him,
sir.
You shouldn't even be defending him. You mad, bro? You mad?
EJ Manuel was just fine, sir. If I'm not mistaken, he's one of 3 college quarterbacks to win 4 bowl games in a career.
He's not good. He's not good for fantasy.
They're still gonna be playing the air guitar with his calves when they sacking him. And good
sir.
Chargers gonna get after him.
Let me change my prediction. Le'Veon Bell is gonna run for 4 touchdowns, and that's how they're gonna get the 28 points. Because Roethlisberger is gonna throw another 5 picks this weekend. Hey, this bullshit. This bull. Y'all want to shoot slugs at my boy like that? That's cool.
Man, I felt that buckshot way over here.
2 can play that game.
You gotta be
Big
like
Ben,
that,
Fishy Player of the Year.
You mad, bruh?
Hey, Fishy Player, he may get that. He may get
Player of the Year 2017. Book it.
Look, don't get mad because them Seminoles ass this year. We thought they was gonna do something.
Seminoles are gonna be just fine. They have their most important player, so they going through what they need to go through. Trust me, they'll be just fine. I have no worries about that. They'll be just fine. They're going to be in a bona fide quarterback controversy by next year.
Hey, that's not a bad thing in college football. That's not a bad thing. We seen that.
Yes, sir.
Hey, but then on the Oakland side of things, my boy Amari Cooper got me sad this year. So, do I got any hope for him?
No.
Any hope?
No.
Who?
I'm still throwing him out there. I ain't got no choice. My boy AJ Green said.
I would throw Crabtree out there if anybody. That's the only person from the Oakland side of the ball I would trust.
Man, I trust Lynch in a flex spot. I trust Cook in a desperation bye-week flex spot, and I trust Crabtree. Next question.
There you go. Moving on to the Giants and the Broncos.
Giants and the 0-5. Are they gonna
who?
Hell, man. Are they gonna win this week? Come on, Wilson.
No, they ain't gonna
win. This is what you do, DeMarcus. This is what you do, DeMarcus. We're gonna have us a throwback podcast right now. Right now, on the next commercial break, you just go right there into the bathroom, open up the cabinet, get yourself some baby powder, put it in your hand, slap yourself. I can't even believe you asked that question about the Giants. Horrible.
You know they ain't gonna win against the Broncos. And the Broncos playing this.
They got a chance. I mean,
they played at home.
In Denver?
They play
in Denver on Sunday night? Are you serious?
Oh, Sunday night. Man,
Eli might not make the flight. Eli might come up with an illness and might not make the flight.
Man, this could be one of those.
We might see him on one of Papa John's commercials subbing in for his brother. Eli, you supposed to be at the game. What you doing?
You know what I'm saying?
All bullshit
First,
aside,
No.
I love CJ Anderson in this game.
oh, go for it. You can break down the
Yeah,
Broncos
what's not to
side.
love? You can break down both these sides because it's a short story. Either way.
It's gonna be one side. I think it's gonna be the CJ Anderson show out game, just continue his hot streak. I'm gonna be talking a little bit more about it later on. But I think it's gonna be all CJ Anderson. He's gonna hand the ball to him, run that clock down, and Eli may get some desperation throws up in there. He still may score a touchdown or two, but it's gonna be all CJ Anderson. And I don't expect too much out of the receivers. I still think Demaryius Thomas is gonna be a good starting PPR. Emmanuel Sanders somehow find a way to the end zone every other day, so I think he's gonna be a good start too. But only in PPR and standard, I don't trust him too much. I don't trust him too much.
No, go ahead and cover the Giants too.
It's nothing to cover on the Giants.
I was about to say, what's he gonna say?
It's absolutely nothing. All you have is the big tight end. And my man ain't gonna be doing too much out there if they're gonna be having those press corners on him. If that's the only receiving option, Sterling Shepard may not play this week. So it's gonna be all Evan Ingram. They gonna have his ass on lock. The only person I expect to have success in this game is maybe Wayne Gallman in a PPR standpoint. I think he's gonna be able to get a lot of those underneath passes. But other than that, I don't trust nobody on those Giants.
You might as well just cover this Colts and Titans game too, because I don't see nothing happy over here either.
No, actually, I think DeMarco Murray is gonna get his shit back together this week.
I was about to say, can I do the Monday night one?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Can I do the Monday night one?
Yeah. What's that you want?
I want the whole game.
Oh, get it.
Take it.
Mack, T.Y. Hilton, Jacoby Brissett, and running backs from Tennessee. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, everybody. Please take away. Thank you. We love you guys. You've been so wonderful.
Encore.
And that has been the Week 6 preview. Now, man, we're gonna jump into the microwave, and refrigerated players for Week 6.
Sir,
I'm telling you,
sir, if I may interrupt you for just a brief moment, because we're talking about oven, microwave, and refrigerator. You guys make sure that you go to the Fish and Grits Facebook page, because right now my honorary pick for the oven before we even get started would be one Eminem, who just dropped this incredible cipher about Donald Trump on the BET Awards. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
Damn it,
He crushed it. I posted it to the page, fellas, so feel free to look at it at your leisure.
Oh my lord.
But okay. I'm sorry.
That's gonna be an autoplay as soon as we get off here.
Yeah, bro.
Go ahead and check that out.
Yeah, he ethered that dude. Oh my goodness.
And like I was saying, the guy I got in the oven this week is gonna be CJ Anderson. The reason being, in Denver 3 wins, he has 20 carries. When he gets 20 carries, they not gonna lose. They gonna hand him the ball. They gonna let him eat. I fully expect 120 all-purpose yards and 2 touchdowns out of CJ Anderson.
God dang, how many?
120 all-purpose yards and 2 touchdowns.
Oh, I think you said 220. I said, shit. You see him having a good game.
I was about to say, wait. What? Terrell Davis came?
Man, I had to double take. What?
120 all-purpose, 2 touchdowns out of CJ Anderson on Sunday Night Football.
Okay. Sunday night. They need to have a black person sing that. They need to be Ty. Ty Dolla need to sing it. Oh,
no, sir. In times of social injustice and civil unrest, they are not going to let any colored people sing anything on those sports shows.
Dang.
That ain't gonna happen.
We can't even.
That ain't
that's
gonna
cold blooded. Oh, I do see. What's his name on there on Monday?
They don't want you singing.
They do have Jason Derulo on Monday night, but
he don't count.
Yeah, they don't. I'm about to say that don't count. You try, bro.
He's MTV. He's
MTV.
Black. Different. He's MTV Black. It's different.
Hey, you got that right. I don't need him on there. He sounds horrible to me, but
no, I'm cool. Yeah, I'm cool. It's all right. It's all right.
So I'm gonna kick this off for the oven players I got this week. I went ahead. I'm gonna knock them all out in one fatal swoop. I have Phillip Rivers, who I mentioned at my on the last episode about him throwing up in his last 2 games 347 yards and 2 touchdowns, and then his last game 258 yards and 3 touchdowns. And he's playing Oakland this week. I see Phillip Rivers having a big game, giving his team the dub. I see him at least throwing hear me, 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's what I have Phillip Rivers for. And then for the running back who's stuck in the oven with him is one Kamara. With AP getting shipped out of New Orleans, God forbid he stood any longer. I'm so glad that he's left at this matchup because they are playing the Lions. And one thing that if you looked at the last game when the Panthers played them is McCaffrey was free to roam. And guess what? Kamara is going to do the same thing. I see a big game from him this week. I have him getting at least 150 yards and a touchdown. And then also in that oven is a wide receiver that a lot of people are not getting enough attention to, somebody who should be getting looked at in all fantasy formats. He was drafted as a flex in a lot of leagues, but he has crept up to the wide receiver 2 position, and that's one Mr. Pierre Garçon. He's playing his old team in the Redskins. Last week, he had 8 catches, 94 yards on 11 targets. That's a right 11 targets. I do like the Redskins defense, but I do know that Pierre Garçon, and I love a good revenge game, so I see a big game for him this week. And then also for my tight end that I also got in the oven is Mr. Jenkins. I see him. Who do I have?
Safari.
I have, Mr. Jenkins. He's going to have a great game. He's playing the Patriots. The Patriots are not looking great on defense for whatever reason. I see that he's going to get the ball often. He's averaging at least 8 to 9 targets a game. So I see him having a great game. I have him, honestly, 5 catches, 60 yards, 2 touchdowns.
I love it.
2 of them things?
Yes, sir. They all stuck in the oven. Just keeping it warm. Keeping it warm. They keeping it going.
Is that what they be saying? Sky high.
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm talking about. Let me jump in this oven real quick and throw 4 more morsels in that oven to get
Throw 'em in there.
baked on up. Start this quarterback spot. Got my man, King Chief right now, Alex Smith. May not be the most spectacular guy, may not be the most flamboyant player, but he's getting them numbers this year, though, homie. Patrick Mahomes, thought you had an easy win, didn't you?
Sit down, player.
Yeah. Sit down over there. You look nice with your headband, homie. Why don't you grab that clipboard for you, boy? Appreciate it. Appreciate
dang,
it.
shots fired.
I like my coffee with 1 sugar and no cream. Thank you. Running back spot, got to keep that train rolling. You got to feed the beast. We have developed an identity in Florida. That would be one Leonard Fournette. As Leonard goes, so goes the Jacksonville Jaguars. Ironic that Tom Coughlin has turned the Jags into what the Giants were supposed to be. It's hot ground and pound game. He's the engine that makes that offense move now. It is his team until otherwise stated, because Blake Bortles, you ain't it. Wide receiver spot, the guy that shows up regardless of whether his quarterback is shit or shine, that would be Mr. Antonio Brown. Even in a humiliating defeat against the Jaguars, in which they gave up 2 pick sixes and 5 picks, he somehow found his way to double-digit receptions and triple-digit yardage. You can pretty much, he's one of those wide receivers that you can set your watch to. Unless Big Ben is hurt, he's pretty much a lock to get about 8 to 10 catches and 100+ yards every single week, regardless of whether they win or lose. And tight end, like super captain obvious, but I'm like the second best obvious, because I would have said Ertz, but no, I didn't want to do that. But I didn't stray too far away. I'll take the king of the shovel pass, Mr. Travis Kelce. He comes back from concussion waivers and protocol or whatnot. He'll be a factor in that Pittsburgh game. Because I think that those linebackers are primed to be set up with their eyes all on Mr. Hunt to get used and abused by Travis Kelce in that short passing game and in that deadly shovel pass in the red zone.
I love it. I love it.
I love 100%, man. The player I'm going to be taking out the refrigerator and throwing in the microwave this week is going to be my man, DeMarco Murray. You know, the thing we got to realize, RB1s are so hard to find in fantasy football, and this is a guy we waste a lot of draft capital on. Sometimes you just need that big-time game to let you know that you are still elite back. I think this Monday night, DeMarco Murray is going to remember that he once led the league in rushing, and he's going to take advantage of this matchup with that soft front seven that the Indianapolis Colts have. I fully expect DeMarco Murray to have over 100 yards and a touchdown coming out of the refrigerator.
You know what's impressive about the Colts defense? They're actually playing decent. And if they actually had an offense that can actually complement them, man, they could actually be in the mix to win this division. I've been really impressed with the
They've been
Colts
pretty
defense.
competitive. They've been pretty competitive. It's just a severe lack of offense for them.
Yeah,
I
they on the
agree.
field. They on the field too long, like we always say. Now, when Andrew Luck does get back, they're gonna be able to tee off a little bit more, and they should be on the field about 10 minutes less.
Exactly.
But until then, until that offense can get more consistent, I still think you can take advantage of them.
Well, I got these microwave people that I'm gonna throw in there with DeMarco Murray. I have Kirk Cousins coming out the bye. You always have to trust Kirk Cousins coming out of bye because he always performs well. He averages at least 300 plus yards and at least 3 touchdowns. And him going against the 49ers, who can be beat over the top. I see a good game for Terrell Pryor, so you can start
what
him.
he did to the Chiefs.
Exactly. You can start Terrell Pryor with confidence this weekend and once again ship him up. Also throwing in the microwave is Ingram. I have him. He's been having a decent fantasy season from a PPR standpoint, but now the AP's gone. He's going to get the majority of a lot of the work, and he's also involved in the pass game. Even though Kamara is there, I like Ingram going forward, and I see him having a big game against the Lions this week. I also have from 2 players from the Sunday night game, and that's Sanders and Ingram. I have Sanders having a good game because if you watch the Giants game, Keenan Allen could have had a huge game against them, but he lacked that because Phillip Rivers overthrew Keenan Allen on a lot of plays, and I see that Simeon and Sanders have that trust, and he kind of plays the same role as Keenan Allen, so I can see a big game from Sanders. And also Ingram. I know a lot of their players will be, or a lot of the defense will be scheming to stop Ingram, but there's so much talent in Ingram, and when you feed a man enough targets, he's got to do something with it. And I at least see him having a decent type of game, nothing extraordinary. And the Broncos have not been the greatest against tight ends, so I can see a good game from him this week. But if he does burn you, don't blame me. I thought he was going to play good, so.
Oh, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I mean, he's the only target there. You just gotta hope that the Broncos don't game plan to try to stop him. Outside of that,
Exactly.
I think he can have a big game.
That's it. Yeah, right. Who you got
All
in the
right,
microwave?
let me go ahead and drop some of these boys in the mic. Most of these are pretty much just cooled off because they just haven't played. My quarterback that I'm throwing back in the mic because we had to throw him in the cooler for a little minute because his throwing arm was going to burn my goddamn house down. That would be Tom Terrific himself, Mr. Tom Brady, coming fresh off this bye week, ready to continue this onslaught
Yes, sir.
of touchdown throws. I mean, it really ain't too much that's got to be said. It ain't rocket science. So goes Tom, so goes the Patriots. He is literally in that unique position for one of the few times in his career where he has to literally throw them to victories every single game because his defense isn't up to the task. But I think that Brady actually is. My running back, another guy that's coming off the bye week, my running back and my wide receiver, actually, and that's Devontae Freeman and Julio Jones. I think will come in, take advantage of a less than spectacular Miami team, getting back to basics at home, getting back into that stride, going through, still competing for home field advantage. So I look for both of them to get plenty of work, plenty of opportunities, and put up plenty of yards. And then tight end, he's been discussed so much in our shows today. My man Brait, Tampa
Yes,
Bay,
sir.
the Jameis Winston's own personal Jason Witten. He feeds them early, he feeds them often. He goes to that security blanket because I think underlying certainty, he's hesitant to go deep because he doesn't want to make mistakes turning over the ball. So Brait is that positive side effect of that. He goes to him early and often, especially on third down.
Yeah, that's the safety blanket right there. The guy I'm going to refrigerate, I kind of consider him in the same boat as like Russell Wilson, Tyrod Taylor, Andy Dalton, Dak Prescott.
Uh-oh.
Quarterbacks just on bye week. I'm not starting this man because I fully expect this to be a running football team game. And I think they're going to look on the other sidelines. They're going to see Blake Bortles ain't throwing the ball. They're going to be like, oh, let's just hand the ball to our running back and not let Jared Goff throw the ball this week. He already got exposed last week. Even though Cooper Kupp did drop what would have been a game-winning touchdown. I get that. But this week is going to be a lot more dirty. They're going to have to get this game over with and get their quarterback healthy. Don't let this front seven get going. That's the worst thing you can do because when they do get off those blocks, they get very explosive, and the Jacksonville Jaguars become a problem. But this week I'm sitting Jared Goff. He's going to be my refrigerated player.
Okay, and my refrigerated people are so easy because I think they open the refrigerator themselves and check their own self in, and that's Mr. Big Ben coming out and saying he doesn't want to play football, or that
Who?
he's the leader. The guy that he's the same guy that questioned Antonio Brown is coming out and talking about he ain't ready to play foot. He doesn't have the talent anymore or the skills anymore. So he's in the refrigerator. AP, guess what? You went to a team with a worse offensive line. Guess what? You're in Dropsville.
Congratulations.
You're in
Yay.
Dropsville. He's in Blah Zone to me. And then another player who Big Ben is teammate and also a person that DeMarcus is pretty high on is Mr. Martavis Bryant, who I haven't seen in many weeks. I don't know where he's at.
He had more top receiving weeks than Terrell Pryor, though. So
I give you that. Terrell Pryor's in there too. He came out just for this week, but he's going back in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
And then another person is Mr. Griffin, and this is not trying to be mean to Ryan Griffin. He has the talent. He's a decent tight end, but with Watson, he doesn't go to the tight end as a check down. He goes to Lamar Miller for his check downs, and he's also utilizing his whole wide receiver core, something that a lot of rookie quarterbacks does not do. They do not use their wide receivers, and he does not use Ryan Griffin like a prototypical rookie quarterback would do. And for that reason only, I put you in the refrigerator.
Ooh, it's so cold.
It's cold world, homie. Cold
Yes,
world.
J. Cole told you.
Cold world, homie.
Anything y'all got for the people before we wrap everything up, fellas?
Wait. I need more.
Oh, wait, you forgot about his refrigerator.
Oh, go ahead.
Why is this man hating on me so much today, Griffin?
He felt the hate. I smell that hate.
Is it continual shots and shade now? Is that the way we're doing it now? That's the way we get down, DeMarcus.
He's mad.
I picked your boys to pull off a little upset. I picked your boys to pull off a little upset.
You was
But
with us.
you know what? It's all good. It's all good. Watch this. I'm about to change these fridges on the fly now that you done said that. All good. Pick all Steelers for the. No, I'm just playing. It's quarterback, man. Like some of these are obvious. So I mean, it really doesn't require much explanation. For the fridge, for me, man, like deep under the freezer burn sausage patties that you had from last summer, stuff like. Put Eli Manning on in there.
Like brown?
Yeah, go and put him on out of your misery. Go and put Eli in there. Eli ain't got no hope. I feel so bad for this man because he has no weapons, none. When Ocho Cinco and T.O. is tweeting you on the fly, and people aren't really bothered by that. When people aren't really bothered by that, like how dare they? When they like, well, maybe you should give him a call. It's bad, bro. I'm just saying, I feel for you. You don't have to take this. You are a 2-time Super Bowl champion. You don't owe nobody nothing.
It's amazing.
You don't owe nobody nothing.
He went from having the best offense preseason to having the worst offense.
Bro, he had the best triplet of receivers in the league just 2 months ago.
Bro, life comes at you fast. Life comes at you fast. Life comes at you fast. And my running back spot in the fridge, just because I think that it's just another one of those good tests, and I like the front seven. But I like the front seven overall, and I think that it's going to be an interesting mix to see how he kind of adjusts or whatever. But I'm gonna sit my man Todd Gurley in the fridge for this week. I think he's gonna have a good all around game. Is he gonna have what I consider a quote unquote Todd Gurley game? No. I think he'll still be productive, like we discussed earlier. I think he'll still have over 100 yards total offense. But I just don't see that boom coming out with the way that Jacksonville defense swarms to the ball. I think that I just don't expect a whole lot out of him. Wide receiver, fridge, put him next to Eli Manning. That would be one of Amari Cooper. Put him in there. Put him in there. Leave him in there. Leave him in there. Don't ever take him out. Leave him in there.
Road Tide. God damn it.
No. Tide ain't claiming him right now. Ask Nick Saban if he know an Amari Cooper. I bet he hang up on you.
Who is Amari Cooper?
Exactly. Man, y'all better stop with this prank calling. Y'all know I don't know no damn Amaris in here. This is Alabama.
Get out there.
Say Julio Jones.
You know what I'm saying? And for my tight end, just for obvious reasons, like we discussed earlier, my guy to put in the fridge, I think he's definitely going to cool off from that monster game, will be Ed Dixon. I still think that he'll have his moments, although it's going to be a much stiffer challenge against Philly. But I still think that he'll have his moments. He'll have opportunities to make plays, but I just don't see back-to-back games like the spectacular game that we saw from him this weekend.
Ed Dixon's with the dry ice, bro. Like that ain't happening.
Damn, that cold.
The coldest.
And it's no shade on Dixon. It's just, hey, you just balled out
Hey,
like you just had the game of your life, bruh. Like,
Baltimore cut him for a reason. They chose Dennis Pitt over Ed Dixon for a reason.
yeah,
He
yeah.
was a backup to Greg Olson for a reason, who never get hurt. So you just had a good game. People decide not to cover you. But yeah, you chilly, bro. You chilly. But anything else y'all got for me, fellas?
The only thing I got for people is from a music standpoint. It's a guy named Luke who signed with J. Cole Dreamsville. His album is amazing. I think this dude has the potential of being something that a lot of people are going to look to as in one of the new age artists that really broke the mold and kind of took off on a whole nother level that nobody really expected. Honestly, his album is called West 1996 Part 2. I think everybody should check that out. But on a TV standpoint, Blackish is back, Scandal is back, How to Get Away with Murder is back. The Mayor that comes on after Blackish is a great show. We also have Star came back, Empire. For those who like Empire, there you go.
Indeed.
The Deuces is also a great show that everybody should check out. It's on HBO if you have HBO. Check that out. And from a movie standpoint, also check out Girls Trip if you haven't seen it. I finally got up and finally got to watch it. It was a really interesting movie. There was moments that I didn't too much care for, but I did really enjoy it. The only thing that I didn't care for in the movie is not.
I haven't caught it yet. I gotta.
No, it's not even from a male standpoint. Tiffany Haddish, a little bit. Sometimes a couple of her scenes kind of went too long. Where it's like, okay, we get you trying to be funny. You can stop on this, but she was good in the movie, and I really enjoyed that movie. Also, I did finally got to watch. I know it came out in February. I finally got to watch the movie with Scarlett Johansson. What is it called? Jesus Christ. Oh my, Ghost in the Shell. I really enjoyed that movie for somebody who just wants to kick up Saturday and there's nothing on TV and you just want to watch a movie. Catch that movie. That's a good one.
All right, good deal, bro.
What you got, Wilson?
For me, great day for me. I would like to take the time out to acknowledge somebody that's been extremely influential for me in my entire life. And I literally mean from the time I first drew breath to now. He's my inspiration. He's my blueprint. He's my hero. He's the guy that I look to when it comes to being a man, to being a human being, to being a good husband and a good person, period. Today is my father's birthday, Samuel Lee Wilson. I love you very much. I know that you enjoyed yourself out today. I unfortunately didn't get a chance to see you today, but the week will not end without us getting some hang-in time. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. But to my pops, from the bottom of my heart, for always being there for me, for always being the example, the prototype of what a strong black man should be in this world. I am forever grateful and humbled by it, and I am envious, and I aspire to be like you every single day.
The greatest salute ever.
Birthday too, so happy birthday to him, I guess.
Who?
No doubt.
Who birthday?
Brett Favre.
Oh,
that guy. That guy.
Happy birthday, tough man. The Wrangler jeans.
That guy.
Yeah,
send somebody else a penis pic, Brett. Happy birthday.
It's 2017 and Shane McMahon is still jumping off of steel cages.
My dude,
Go for it.
Why is he doing it? I just want him to stop. He too old for it.
He actually said that much like Goldberg coming back, he did it because his kids never really got a chance to see him do all the stuff that they.
Yeah, it's a reason why.
So famous for.
It's a reason why.
And I can kind of get that, but by the same time, bruh. It'll take a little bit longer to recover now. It take a little bit longer to recover. Trust me. As the old man in the group, as the old man in the group, trust me, the stuff that I wanted to do like 15 years ago, and I was like, oh man, it don't matter. Quick nap or a quick day, and I'm good. It's like, yeah, bro, I'm gone all this week. I can't do it.
A quick plug. I also want a quick plug. The Cavs, they just lost to the Bulls in their first preseason game. I mean, in their first preseason game that's on televised, but I know a lot of people are not really checking for that and probably not going to show it or give it no credence because they finally have to get together, mesh together. I'm gonna tell you this: that defense looks mighty questionable, and I'm telling you, come finals time, that shit.
Oh, they're bluffing. I can tell you that.
You think so?
They're bluffing.
I don't trust their defense.
LeBron and them do that every year, bro. Trust me, they're bluffing.
No.
It's gonna take a little while for the chemistry and stuff like that, but trust me, their defense is gonna be right where it needs to be when it needs to be there.
No, it'll click and get them through the East. But if they get to the finals, I truly believe if they were to meet the Warriors, it's might be a sweep this year. Their defense is worse than it was last year.
But we're still functioning under those kinds of assumptions. There's a reason why you have to go through the 82 games in the playoffs, because you come out of the gate in the first couple of months, Curry rolled that ankle bad or something like that. We're not talking about the Warriors in the finals. We got to get to that point before we can discuss their options and stuff like that. But for the Cavs, only thing they really need to worry about is just making it out the East. That should be their singular focus as a team, and the coach should be stressing that. Don't worry about the what ifs on the other side or who you may potentially play. Just worry about getting there. Once you get there, shit, anything can happen.
Well, there you go.
But they're going to still go through. They're still going to have their battles because I still think that, there's going to be some sleeper teams that's going to pop up out of the East that are going to give them a little bit more of a fight than people initially think. Off the top of my head, I look for Boston and Milwaukee to be thorns in their side for the entire season. But it's going to be fun to watch. This is going to be one of the most fun basketball seasons in a long time. All the way around on both sides.
I'm with you 100%, my brother. But, man, as for now, this has been Fish and Grits, and you guys have just been served.
Y'all enjoy.
Go Astros, motherfuckers. Shit.
Oh, yeah, good plug.